Are you ready to meet your top 16 here at round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship?
Yeah, very fitting. I love
it. Tom. Are you ready to meet your top 16 drifters here at round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship presented by GoPro? Starting closest to the judging stand is your 2010 Formula Drift champion from Joplin, Maryland in the Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Mustang RTR. He's ready to rock, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Next to him, now residing in Maryland from Pennsylvania, is your 2009 Formula Drift champion in the NOS Energy Drink Hand-Cooked Tires 370Z, Chris the Force Forsberg. Pennsylvania born and bred with a handlebar on his face. For his first time here in the top 16 this year in the United States Air Force Scion Racing Scion FRS on hand-cooked tires, Tony Angelo. Originally from the Lone Star State, Houston, Texas, in the Megan Racing hand-cooked tires, Chevrolet Camaro, it's Conrad Grunewald. The other bow tie on the grid. He comes to us from Danville, California, the Mobile One, a GoPro Chevrolet Camaro. He is on some hand-cooked tires, Tyler The Rock McCoy. Briggs. Coming to us from Toronto, Canada, in the AV Fab, Dave Briggs Racing S14. It's Dave Briggs. Originally from Lithuania, now living in Wrightwood, California, in the Nexen Tires V8 S14, Odi Bakchis. Who's next?
I think it.
Next to him, he is your 2011 Formula Drift champion in the Discount Tire Falcon Tire V8 S13, slide or Daigo Yoshihara. Next to him is Falcon Tire's teammate running the signature teal and blue in the Ford Mustang. It's JTP Justin Pollock. Next to him, coming to us from Southern California, he's being escorted, picked from the crowd by Cassidy Sheridan, 24 years old from Cheyenne, Wyoming. He picks his umbrella models. Get that? That's how he gives back. In the GSR Autosports BMW turbocharged E46, it's Michael Essa. Coming on down the line, one of two Norwegians in the top 16. He's in the Papadakis Racing, Hankook Tires, Motegi Racing, Scion TC. It's the Norwegian Hammer, Fredric Aasbo. Who's next? Go change back to the camera shot. Next, I see it. Next to him, one of two, rocking the purple and green. Comes to us from Japan, commutes all the way here. You complain about your commute. In the Achilles Radial SC300, it's Robbie Bushido Blade Nishida. Next to him, he is your 2012 reigning Formula Drift champion. He's in the Achilles Radial Lexus SC430. He is Daigo, the Ninja Saito. Loud and proud, originally from the 808, now residing in the 702. That's Hawaii and Las Vegas. In the Get Nuts Laboratory, JZ powered S14, it's Forrest Wang. Retina burning yellow is his color, and he's clutch kicking and taking some names from San Jose, California. In the CX Racing Black Tracks Fat Lace V8 S14, it is Matt Field. And last but definitely not least, the other Norwegian driver flying the Norwegian flag in the Lutz Performance Run BC Turbocharged 350Z. It's Kenny Oh So Smooth Moen. These are your top 16 drivers ready to do battle. Palm Beach, Florida, are you ready to send it? Take a look as we're utilizing some digital feed here high in the sky here at Palm Beach International Raceway. Clear the track of all the media. Thank you for all the media for joining us here. He's coming to camera. Well, we are sweaty and ready to party here. You saw the top 16 introduction. Those are your drivers, and they are ready to do battle, my friend. We talked about it before. Again, tell your friends to tune in now. If you can't make it out here, obviously, to the live event, you can watch every round of competition, formula.com/live. This is only round 3 of 7, and the championship points are still heating up. Like we said, Vaughn, Gittin Jr, Daigo, 1 and 2, and Darren McNamara, unfortunately, knocked out in top 32. The points race is really going to heat up after this round of competition.
Oh, it sure will. And, you know, we're starting to get to that midway crest in the season where once we hit wall, we will officially be 50% more or 50% done with the series and more. So these points for the championship, especially in this round right here where we're starting to define some of the guys that are in contention, are just so important. And as we talked about the bracket earlier, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Fredric Aasbo, Daigo Yoshihara, Michael Essa, Justin Pollock, Chris Forsberg, all in contention early on and trying to get as many points as they possibly can and move on from the top 16.
And just to remind you, we're seeing near triple-digit speeds just outside of the triple digits, 100 miles per hour on entry. And I'll tell you what, yesterday I had an opportunity to go on the start grid and hit the button, and they were just blasting away and initiating that first corner. I mean, until you see it in the flesh and until you ride in a car, you really just have no sense of like how precarious and gnarly it is, for lack of a better term, how door-to-door they are. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Now's a great time to thank our sponsors as well. Formula+drift presented by GoPro. GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. The United States Air Force, the official military sponsor of Formula+drift. And Ford, Go Further, the official the official tires. Hand-cooked tire, be one with it, hand-cooked tires. Nitto tires, fueled by enthusiasts. Falcon tire, we get you going, and Achilles Radial. Of course, thanks to Electric Sunglasses, or Electric, the official sunglass of Formula+drift, and Bell One Communications. And you know what? Alpine Stars for providing all of our clothing for our staff. Now, Ryan, you know, our first battle on deck, JTP, Robbie Nishida, you talked about, you know, how crucial it is for Dai. It's very crucial for JTP. I know Sue, his mom, is watching at home, and they're cheering him on from Michigan.
Well, he certainly has the momentum. I mean, he not only qualified first, but it was with a sizable gap. He was 94.7, which is one of, if not the most highest qualifying scores that we've seen all year, and he's really just been on fire, coming back from a slow start or a scary start in Long Beach, you know, making contact with that wall in a very similar and eerie way to Darren McNamara the year prior. He was able to come back out and actually make it into the top 16, so he was able to save some points for the championship. But it's just eluded Justin, you know, the past couple of years. He's been so close, and this might be an opportunity for him to strike back. If you remember, 2 years ago, he was able to beat Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the finals, and it was an awesome, awesome battle between those two guys.
I mean, you know, those guys at one time shared the same tire sponsor. Now they don't. That was kind of a big shakeup as Vaughn Gittin Jr. switched over to Nitto tires this year. You know, and that's kind of a big shakeup, but it doesn't seem to be putting too much of a hitch in his step. And Robbie Nishida, he's going against JTP. He is currently 25th in points, but I'll tell you, don't ever count on Robbie Nishida. When he's on, he's really on. He just seems to beat himself at the most inopportune times. But that's JTP as well. I mean, he had a championship in the bag with Daigo Yoshihara messing up, and then he messed up. And it came down to the final round at Irwindale, California, the House of Drift. And I'm sure it's going to come down to the final round this year as well. You know, some people think, should we have more rounds? People always question that. You know, it's tough. It's tough to stretch this out. I mean, we want to grow properly. And to get 7 rounds, it's a lot. I mean, these guys put in, you're watching, I mean, follow all these drivers on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I mean, they're working every weekend. Even though they're not driving, they're working on the vehicles, R&Ding, tuning, testing, even fixing their vehicles. So these guys are working hard.
Oh, absolutely, and it's just been a really awesome thing to see the car counts. I mean, we've got 50-plus drivers at most of these rounds. I mean, that you can't even compare that to other motorsports where you have 18, 22, 24 car counts. 50-plus drivers going to all 7 rounds, traveling across the country. And this is our first stop on the East Coast. We make our way up to New Jersey, and then we'll finally head back to the West Coast and into one of our new events back down south in Texas, which is great.
Down Every seat is full here at round 3. And our first battle is on deck. JTP and Robbie Nishida, Ford Mustang versus the SC300. Again, text your friends now, formulad.com/live. Share it on Facebook. Share the link. Mad Mike Baudet, sweet ass bro. I know you're watching with there on Tony Link in your toy shed. Mad Mike Baudet, always watching, dude. Oh. He's making rotary sounds with his mouth right now. I know he is, him and Link. And the whole ADGP crew, Formula Drift Asia. How we doing, Marcus? And the whole gang, Jason, and who else? You know, the whole gang. I mean,
it's nice you can say hi to him from across the world.
I mean, it's pretty rad, and that's what I was alluding to earlier, just about the progression of this, where, you know, we have so many, you know, look at the media pit. I mean, so many different forms of media, you know, Wrecked Magazine, you have drifting.com, you have, I mean, speedhunters.com, Hoonigan, you know, Corey Denemy down here. I mean, who else am I looking at? State of Stance. You have, I mean, so many different websites. I mean, they're going to start yelling them at me as they're down here in these yellow vests. But so many websites. Speedhunters.com. Looks like we're throwing out some goods down here. And remember, I do remind you, please be courteous to your fellow drift neighbor. Please be courteous. We're all one big happy drift family. And also, this is a reminder, please do not take any of the banners. They are property of Formula Drift. If you are caught taking some, we will arrest you. These are property, and we do need them for every existing round of Formula Drift competition.
Actually, Ryan was saying.
All right, we are ready to send cars. Justin Pollock, Robbie Nishida. Here we are in the Ford Go Further Top 16. Who's going to be going further into the Grade 8? This is a crucial part of tonight's festivities and tonight's competition. Send it. Here we go. JTP, Justin Pollock, Robbie Nishida. Give it chase. Look at it. Nice job by Robbie Nishida. Give it chase. Justin Pollock putting his car in the right spot. Whoa, Robbie. Man, I'm telling you, do not count out Robbie Nishida. I really got to see that one again. From start to finish, you saw Robbie lunge forward towards the back end of that Ford Mustang and back down. Let's take a look at the Ford Go Further Top 16 replay.
Well, watch on initiation right here. Robbie Nishida goes out way wide right there. You can't see it. He probably does not drop a tire, but he should be a little bit closer to Justin Pollock. It causes him to make a mistake. He shallows up right here. Shallow angle all the way around this corner as JTP just barely misses that inside clip, then shooting back around. Gets so close as Robbie Nishida, it causes him to make another error right there. As you can see, that when the proximity clipping points are lit, they turn green. That's within 12 inches. JTP right there catching that one, but going a little bit late, and almost right there some contact from Robbie Nishida in the rear. So a nicely run by Justin Pollock, and aggressive from Robbie Nishida, but causing him to make a few mistakes.
Yeah, just a little bit of 12-inch contact there in the rear end as Robbie Nishida will now lead, and JTP will be giving chase. The JZ powered, I know Robbie Nishida had a rough start as he popped his fully built engine in Long Beach and got it back together. Now he's looking like he could potentially put the hurt on JTP. As I'm seeing here it is again. Let's take a replay of Justin Pollock leading.
Judge is saying right there that Justin Pollock grabbed a bunch of e-brake right there. May have affected Robbie Nishida to some degree. I did see him pull the e-brake. Didn't seem too long. Robbie Nishida corrects. He comes up a little bit shallow. Let's see what he does right here. Some slowdown right there from Justin Pollock. I can see what the judges are saying right there, and almost some contact. So we did see that earlier on with June Meng, and it did actually go in favor of Tony Angelo. So the judges have basically laid their standard down for the lead drivers to really go out there and be consistent and flow all the way through the course. So we'll see here as we switch it up with Robbie Nishida now taking the lead against Justin Pollock.
And Justin Pollock and Robbie Nishida have seen battle against each other a total of 3 times previously, with Justin Pollock besting 2-1 as Justin Pollock did win He won in Las Vegas back in 2011, and it wasn't all the way back in 2008 that Robbie Nishida beat Justin Pollock. So with the progression of Justin Pollock's career, he's in a very capable and very menacing Ford Mustang. Here we go. Robbie Nishida will be leading. Can he take out Justin Pollock and better that average to a 50% winning average against JTP? Here comes Robbie Nishida riding that yellow line. Justin Pollock is right there. Look at Robbie pulling away from the big bat oval. I'd like to see Justin Pollock closer to Nishida. Make some noise for Nishida and Pollock.
Well, going back to that first run, we'll have to see just how much the judges treat Justin on that initiation right here. We can see Robbie hitting the brakes right there. We have the front and rear brake lights that you can see illuminate on the front windshield and on the back windshield as Robbie Nishida just goes a tiny bit wide right there as Justin Pollock tries to adjust. He straightens up just a tiny bit right there as well. So we see drivers making mistakes on both runs. It'll really just come down to what the standard that the judges have set for the lead driver and how it affects the chase as we get ready to look at who might move on into the Great 8.
So there is a look at our Ford Go Further instant replay. There's so much video content coming out here. Oh, here real quick, scores are in. Here we go. Robbie Nishida, Justin Pollock, Robbie Nishida, one vote for Robbie. One more time, and Ryan Latain says, Robbie Nishida gets the win. Robbie Nishida takes out Justin Pollock. Robbie Nishida takes out JTP, who is currently 11th in points, taken out by Robbie Nishida. This is a huge defeat for JTP, but a huge victory for Robbie Nishida. Do you agree with that call, Ryan?
Well, certainly the judges have now, as they did with Jun Meng and Tony Angelo, really set the standard for what a lead driver can and can't do and can and can't get away with. They're basically saying that on initiation, the mistakes that were made by Robbie Nishida were essentially forced by Justin Pollock as the way he grabbed e-brake here, and then what they say is parking it on this side over here. So really scrutinizing the lead driver on that one, and they've basically let everybody know, hey, look, if you're going to go out and run a lead run, it's got to be fluid, it's got to be consistent, and right there they obviously gave Robbie Nishida the win based on what Justin Pollock did in his lead run.
So there it is, Robbie Nishida. When we were kind of taking a look at the forecasting, nothing against Robbie Nishida, but you never know. So here we go. It is our next battle, Dave Briggs versus Tony Angelo. You talked about that earlier. Now, Tony Angelo and Dave Briggs have never seen battle against each other. As Briggs throws it in. You have two 4-cylinder turbo-powered cars here. As Briggs, good angle, Tony Angelo wrapping around that front left. Let's take a look at it once again.
Watch David Briggs right here. Definitely gets really close to that outside line. Just runs it very close. No tire drop right there. Transitions a little bit straight on that transition. Tony Angelo keeping paces here. Falls back just a tiny bit. Surges forward right there as David Briggs goes a bit wide on that inside clipping point. Tony Angelo adjusts. Tries to come in, he straightens out a little bit himself, and both drivers missed that last inside clipping point, Jared, so some mistakes back and forth there. Can't tell if I really have a real advantage over anybody. I would say David Briggs possibly, but he made some mistakes of his own, so both drivers making some errors.
Well, these gentlemen have never gone against each other in Formula Drift competition, and Tony Angelo, one of those drivers, yes, he did come up here and judge for a couple of years, but I know he wanted to be back out on track, got his program together, and here he is back in the Scion, and his first ever time in top 32 in this very vehicle, and now here he is in top 16. Can he advance on to the Grade 8? He's going against a tough competitor, Dave Briggs, but he's really on it. He is on it, and this is a gentleman that has seen different vehicles. I remember announcing for DMCC up in Canada, and he had a SR, very similar to this vehicle. When I first saw him, he actually got some drift schooling from that of 2009 Formula Drift champion Chris Forsberg. So he has some experience under his belt in competition and also getting some higher education from previous champions. So he has a repertoire of potentially taking somebody out. So Tony Angelo will now be leading in that United States Air Force Turn 16 distribution, United, Scion FRS. Here we go, Tangelo, the Hurricane as he's called, going against Briggs' house. Can the Hurricane blow down the Briggs' house? Tony Angelo is leading. Dave Briggs giving chase. Zip tight, how we doing? Hate on, haters. Here comes Tony Angelo. Initiating into that first turn. Nice job utilizing the whole course by both drivers. As Dave Briggs, Tony Angelo vying for that tighter line. Hitting that front flip, taking a late apex on that front clip. Now here's Dave Briggs. Taking a very similar line that Tony Angelo took. Tony Angelo did come off of the rear clipping zone a bit early, but aggressive from the start.
Well, keep in mind, David Briggs needs to utilize Tony Angelo as a moving clipping point. You can see as we shoot out towards the second outer zone right there, Tony Angelo overshoots this clip right here as he does the last inside clip. Both drivers made mistakes on the first one. I guess you could possibly make an argument that Dave Briggs were a little bit bigger, Tony making some mistakes of his own. So both drivers, nothing clearly definitive in my mind, Jared, just a little bit of back and forth with both drivers making some mistakes in both their lead and chase runs.
As the drivers await the verdict from the judges, you see Tony Angelo, United States Air Force, and Dave Briggs, AV Fab, Achilles Radial, V8 S14.
Well, Jared, the judges now inputting their scores. These are tough ones because, you know, there's not like huge mistakes or a driver that was just so aggressive and really on it. Both drivers had okay lead, okay chase, but some mistakes there that really have to be quantified. And you really want to see a clear winner here, so it'll be interesting to see how the judges take a look and judge this consecutive 2 runs.
Scores are in, Ryan. Here we go. Here's our 3 judges, Tony Angelo, Dave Briggs. Brian Eggert says, Dave Briggs. Andy Yent says, one more time. Ryan Lantain says, one more time. They're going at it again. It's a one more time battle. And Brian Eggert independently going with Dave Briggs, but majority rules. It's a one more time battle.
Yeah, I mean, typically what you try to do, or at least what I try to do, is, you know, base everything I know about what's being said in the drivers' meetings, the criteria, how it is foundationally set as we come into rounds, but then also how it adjusts in detail based on the track. And usually when you watch a run, you're able to say, you know what, I feel like this guy should have won. That was one of those ones where just really couldn't tell, so I agree with the one more time call.
Yeah, I do too, and it reminded me kind of Miro and excuse me, Forrest Wang. Reminded me of Miro and Forrest Wang's battle earlier, where it's just, for lack of a better term, just him-ha. It's obviously really exciting, really awesome. They're throwing it in, but nothing, as you say, standout, zenith, pinnacle that's going to move them on. Here we go. Speaking of moving on, our next battle. Chris the Force Forsberg, 2009 Formula Drift champion, going against Odie Bakchis in the Nexen Tires V8 S14. Here we go, Chris Forsberg throwing it in. Odie way shallow on that initiation, but look at that. Just slid into position. Seems like Odie is just going to go right into the and Odie Bakchis chasing down Forsberg. Man, right from the start, it seemed like Odie was just going to slam into the door of Chris Forsberg. Let's take a look at that once again.
Well, Jared, the second part of the run for Odie Bakchis will have no consequence. As you can see right here, as he transitions into the second outer zone, watch the rear bumper right here. Goes wide, boom. Hits an off-course marker. That is a 0, so that will be a 0 for Odie Bakchis on that first run. And he will require Chris Forsberg to 0 on the second if he wants to move forward in the top 16.
Now, we broke it down earlier before top 32, but what Ryan's speaking out is 2 strikes and you're out. If you have 1 tire off, if you come to a stall, if you drift straight, there are many zeros, but what's very definitive are the off-course markers. Now, you can see the illuminated cones. There are multiple very short stubby cones that are illuminating the outer lines or inner lines of the course and defining the course, but there are 9 particular off-course cones. 3 of them are on the outside turn of the first turn. The other 6 span the outside of the pavement section of the sweeping turn. If you hit those just like Odie did, you can see the taller cone there right at the bottom of your screen there. That right there, that cone at the start, that is a restart cone. If the lead car is way too ahead of the chase car, they can stop and they'll restart. But 9 definitive off-course cones, Odie hit one. He's got a 0 going into this round. Odie needs Chris Forsberg to mess up in order for him to advance. Odie's kind of hoping, but he's out front. Chris Forsberg's giving chase. Odie's pushing hard. He knows he's going against a fierce and clean competitor. The judges even called out Chris Forsberg, saying he's probably one of the smoothest lines. He's a drifter's drifter. The drifters have a lot of respect for Chris as he's bringing in, tapping the brakes here as Chris Forsberg chasing down Odie. Now something up to him. Nice job by Odie. Almost moved them back over to Forsberg right there. Wow, look at that car control from Forsberg. Now back on his door and tapping that front lip. Man, sometimes I don't know how Forsberg just keeps it going out. I just want to see his footwork there.
Well, I'm wondering if Forsberg's spotter didn't tell him that Odie had a 0, because certainly did not drive like that. He gets dangerously close to those outer off-course markers right there, but then just really puts it to Odie Bakchis the rest of the run. Nice job on proximity, great angle right there. Odie comes around, does a really good job in the lead run, but like we said before, Jared, we really needed Chris Forsberg to 0 out in this run for it to have any effect on him not moving forward. And it's going to be Chris Forsberg all the way.
And you called him, man. I don't know if his spotter told him, you know, Scott's sitting over here. I don't know if he told him, dude, you got a 0. You can take it easy. But also, truth be told, the judges did say, hey, you know what? If you have a 0 in this situation, just like this, in the driver's meeting, they said, don't sandbag, for lack of a better term. Don't kick back, and you can't just hang back and think that you just get the win and hand it to you. Chris says, I'm going to not leave in the judge's hand, and I'm going to take the win. Here it is. I'm sure it is. Slide it on over. Chris Forsberg gets the win in the NOS Energy 370Z. That means Odie Bakchis, originally from Lithuania, now living in Wrightwood, California, is knocked out in his Nexen Tires V8 S14. There's your winner, Chris the Force Forsberg. So we'll go back to our one more time battle of Tony Angelo and Dave Briggs. The OMG Drift crew, how we doing? You guys eating pizza, drinking beer? Dave Carey and the Drew Fishman, Rogue Status, how we doing? We got a gang of people out there in Venice Beach. DTA posse.
Nice sunset.
Another watching down under as well. We just had our first ever Formula Drift Australia round of competition, ADGP. Josh Bocher, he's watching, he's tuning in. David Anthony Yo here on Instagram, giving some shout outs here. Radio 87. Who else we got watching? The Gorillas Drift crew. My boy Alberto Benchimol in Montreal, Canada, tuning in. How we doing, Albert? Frankie? The red, white, and blue, the checkered flags. Take a look at that sky. That's what we've been seeing all day, and I gotta tell you, it feels like underpants right now. It feels just absolutely sweaty. Sweaty out here. How are we feeling out there? You guys sweaty? Are you as sweaty as I am? Just grab your friend and put your friend's armpit or the other face right in your armpit right now. If you got a tank top, it'll just make it that much more special. How we doing? We're over here in the spotter stand. Look at that. Look at this media. Yo, round of applause, dude. Media, I'm looking at you. Thank you guys for coming on out here and just sweating it out, wearing the pants, mandatory. Air Productions. Look at this. Who else we got down there? Like I said, State of Stance. What other websites you gonna plug and yell at me right now? K-Sport. Thumbs down. Who are you thumbsing down, bro? All right, well, again, myself and Ryan Sage, we are Looks like we're hanging out. We should have a wine spritzer here, all backlit. Looks like we're retiring out here to beautify it. Had the luxury of going down to Juneau Beach. You have a late flight tomorrow, dude. You gonna hit the beach tomorrow?
No, it's not really.
Not really. You're gonna stay up late, party hard, and then catch that midday flight.
I have an early flight, actually.
You have an 11 o'clock flight.
Yeah, that's
plenty
of
time.
Pretty early.
That's
leave the hotel at like 3 a.m.
That's not bad, dude. Leave it. Well, I know you have a lot of work out for you. Beautiful sunset here. The lights are on. The action concludes. This is the one more time battle of Dave Briggs and Tony Angelo. Dave Briggs is going to lead the AV Fab. Toronto, Canada built. Congratulations to AV Fab and his wife for just getting Tony Angelo. Huge correction. Spinning out. And Tony Angelo, I'm assuming, has some issues.
Well, Jared, we talked about something definitive happening, and there is nothing more definitive than this. You can see right here, David Briggs is out pretty far ahead. Tony Angelo gets on the brakes right there, straightens out, and then spins. Nothing else really transpired on course there. That should be a clear mistake for Tony Angelo. David Briggs makes his way through the course, all the way through, pumping his fist out the window right now. I think he knows he's got a pretty big advantage against Tony Angelo, and Tony's really going to have to pour it on right now. Doing it in the lead position is the best possible way, and trying to at least show the best qualifying run you can and forcing the chase driver into a compromising position and maybe a spin. But at this point right now, Tony Angelo is at a big disadvantage.
Well, you saw the Canadian Briggs house, like you said, given the, we're not on the Jersey Shore, but given a little beat the beat. We will be on the Jersey Shore June 22nd, 21st and 22nd, 21st qualifying. Come join us down the Jersey Shore, down by the beach, boy. As we're now alternating the order. Hopefully the Angelos are watching, mom and dad, brothers and sister are tuning in. Panic Bear, I know he's watching right now. And here we go. Tony Angelo will now lead. Like you said, it's a great opportunity for him to just throw down a gangster sick run and make it just even that much more clear. Here we go. Tony Angelo's going to lead. Dave Briggs giving chase. He's going to throw caution to the wind here. The Hurricane. Here he goes. Hurricane is forecasted for this big sweeping turn as Dave Briggs now goes off course. Dave Briggs, is he going to spin? He corrects. He straightens. Tony Angelo is getting the prayers answered. Now Tony Angelo, if he finishes this out, this could potentially be. Now, Tony Angelo did come to a complete stop as opposed to a big hit, a correction, and a straight. Take a look at this again, Ryan.
Well, this is most definitely a big mistake, and in my mind, based on what we had talked about yesterday for qualifying, what constitutes a zero, that right there, drifting straight, is absolutely a zero. This should be an equalizer, and Tony Angelo, in my mind, was just gifted a one more time battle. There's no way you can't give Dave Briggs a zero. This right here, that part, that's drifting straight. That's 100% a zero based on the criteria. So this should be a one more time battle, easy to call, unless I'm insane, but I mean, I don't know. That's crazy.
I would say, you said, he got exactly what he wanted from Tony, from Dave Briggs, Tony Angelo. Let's go to the judges. Tony Angelo, Dave Briggs, Brian, Andy, Yen, and Ryan Lantain. One more time. One more time, they're going at it again. Unbelievable. And I couldn't agree more. The judges are on it. They catch a lot of flack, they catch a lot of beep, but you know what, to be quite honest, it is not an easy job. Hey, I want to send a big shout out to the dynamic duo, actually one of the dynamic duo of Tandem of Die. His name is Justin Shreve. He doesn't carry any sleeves, he has Justin Shreves. Happy birthday to Justin Shreve today. Happy birthday, buddy.
Well, Jared, going back yesterday, just to remind the fans, loss of drift, opposite drift, 2 tires off, hood hatch, trunk, or doors opening, contact with off-course markers. Those are all zeros, and also wall hit. So you can see right there, it's an easy call. Loss of drift in a major way for David Briggs, and we will see this for a second time now.
So they'll be going back to the start line, regain their thoughts. What is strategy here? you know what? They're pretty even keel. 2 4-cylinder turbo cars, Scion FRS, S14, very capable vehicles. Tony Angelo, it's been bred out of the snake pit. As we move on to our next battle, we'll go back to them once again, as we're only 4 battles deep into the top 16. Nishida, Forsberg, they're already in. Forsberg will go against the winner of this battle, Tyler the Rock McCoy, Mobile One, GoPro, Chevrolet Camaro, going against currently 4th in points coming to this round of competition, Michael Essa, GSR Autosports, Wisefab, Turbocharged, Turbo by Garrett, BMW E46. He's on some Bill Stein shock absorbers. They're building a free car, or not a free car. You can win a car from Bill Stein. Can you win it? Oh, Tyler McCoy already with a big correction there. Look at Michael Essa throwing it in hard. Look at the angle from Essa. But Tyler McCoy is right there. Now backing up quite a bit as Essa throws in some angle. Kind of giving back, allowing McCoy to catch up. Essa does not look very fast right now. It seems like every transition he's just clipping up. Kind of caught into a bit of a sand pit here. Now I want to take a look at this. Essa, yeah, Tyler McCoy had a big mistake, but Essa was just kind of slow at certain turns.
Well, check this out right here on initiation. Tyler McCoy makes a pretty significant error. You can see that's what they call a double initiation.
Yep.
One of those is okay. One more mistake, it will be equivalent to a 0. Right here, he almost loses drift, but he's basically on a very tight line right there with very low angle.
But watch Essa.
Michael Essa does botch up just a little bit right there, but it's not as noticeable as the mistakes that Tyler McCoy made. Both guys go pretty deep into that second outer zone, but on initiation for Tyler McCoy and after he leaves the second outer zone, very problematic there as well. So this should be at least an advantage for Michael Essa as both drivers head back to the start line.
Michael Essa seemed like he just kind of stepped in some gum there, kind of just slowed him down around that final turn. And you know, Essa's been carrying a lot of speed through his drift, you know, through the different quadrants, but it really seemed like he, you know, kind of stepped in some mud. But Tyler McCoy with some huge critical mistakes. Again, please stay off the fence. Please stay off the K-rails. Be courteous to your neighbors. This is Formula Drift, and we're all one big happy Drift family. Thank you very much. This is a message of your local broadcast system. Tyler McCoy is now going to lead. Michael Essa will give chase. As we are staged, Tyler the Rock McCoy. If you want to buy a GoPro, today is a great time to buy a GoPro. You can also win a GoPro. I'm going to give you those details after this run. So you're going to want to grab your phone out. I'll tell you when. You can win a GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition. The red lights are illuminating. Once they go off, send it. There you go. Tyler the Rock McCoy. As they go past the restart cone, you can see the miles per hour ringing up, 92. 92.8 miles per hour engine. Look at a gap. What is Essa doing here? If he wants to strike, but Tyler McCoy putting it down right now. Tyler McCoy. Solid job by McCoy. Now Essa striking with vengeance. But man, a solid lead run by McCoy. McCoy, his first time not only in the top 16, but the first time for him in the top 32 this year. Let's take a look at it again, Ryan.
Well, Tyler McCoy working hard in the lead position, establishes a gap right out of the gate, probably 4 car lengths right there. Michael Essa tries to jump on it real quick, knowing that he's at a disadvantage for keeping that distance to Tyler McCoy. Tyler McCoy is off that that first inside clip. And then right here he's able to get back. He still is a little bit wide right there as Michael Essa finally closes the door, but out of the front shot, you can see right there a huge gap that Michael Essa tries to close by accelerating, trying to utilize Tyler McCoy as a moving clipping point and starting off on the wrong foot. But Tyler McCoy did have those big airs in that first run, and the judges will have to factor all that in and see who takes the win here in the top 16. But definitely not the way you would want to see Michael Essa chase from the get-go.
Well, I'm seeing the judges write down some verdicts. I think it really came down to that first run. There were just quite a few mistakes from Tyler McCoy, and looking over the judge's shoulder, I can see them utilizing their scoring tablets.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was, you know, Essa did establish that he was far back in the chase run, but he was able to get on it pretty quick.
Brian Egger says Michael Essa gets the win. The GSR Autosports BMW gets the win. Dude, he is 4th in points coming into this round. Essa has never seen a Formula Drift podium. Talk about a bridesmaid and just running it hard. Unbelievable. How we doing, Duck? Thanks for running the Jumbotron out there. Quack, quack, and thank you for running it. Also, a happy birthday tomorrow to Mr. Corey the Boss Hosford. Corey Hosford, the man of awkwardness and many faces and costumes. Corey Hosford, it's his birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, early birthday to him. Having a dab and watching drift. What is a dab? Where's this gentleman watching from? Jerk 705. I've never even seen that beer. But hey, man, if you're at home chilling, drinking a beer, woo, there's the old drink stream for you. Going old school for you, Joey Redmond. Nick Guian. Again, can you pull up that GoPro graphic? You can win a GoPro. Text GoPro FD to the number 20300. Only one lucky fan. USA participants only. Text GoPro FD to the number 20300. You can win a GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition, just that we utilize here as Formula Drift presented by GoPro. This is not one more time. This is two more time. This is the second one more time battle between Tangelo and Briggs. Tony Angelo, the Hurricane, Dave Briggs. Dave Briggs leading the AV Fab SR powered SR. Tony Angelo, no angle, complete loss of drift as Dave Briggs finishes out the course. Tony Angelo shutting down all thrusters as Dave Briggs finishes it out. Obvious advantage to Briggs.
And his spotter should be telling him, all you have to do is make it through the next run. That's all you have to do. Yeah, right out of the gate, you can see right here, David Briggs initiates. Nice high line right there. Tony Angelo, we lose him right here, and it's because he shuts it down. Looks to be something mechanical as David Briggs. No consequence to the rest of the run. He will receive a clear advantage. And if he can make it through the run this time, he will most definitely go into the round of 8. But as we saw last time, Jared, anything can happen.
Like you said, you saw in the last round, and just run the course. Oh wow, we're getting the throat chop, and that means Tony is out. Dave Briggs moves on to the Great 8. Dave Briggs moves on. Tony Angelo is knocked out after 2 one more times battle. He loses by breaking his vehicle. Tony Angelo is out. Dave Briggs is in. He's moving on to the Great 8. We are halfway through the top 16. Nishida against Briggs. Forsberg versus Essa. If you didn't visit the Fat Lace Slam Society car show, you missed out. There's no stopping them now. The Fat Lace Slam Society, Hella Flush, Illest, whatever you want to call it, it is Slam Society. You missed out on a very cool event. New Jersey, Slam Society car show at New Jersey, yay or nay? There will not be a Slam Society car show at New Jersey, unfortunately. Just don't have the space. Should be back at Monroe. Hey, you guys ready to start a wave? Start a wave all the way on the far side of the track. The last bleacher on 3. Boom. Wow. Why don't you doing it? Sending it. Loving it. All the way through. It's coming through the judges stand and the spotter, and it's going back to you. So wait there. It's coming back to you. Coming through the spotter stand. Boom goes the dynamite. It's coming through, coming through. Coming right through. Coming at us, judges. Yeah, spotters. Boom. All right, go again. 1, 2, 3. Send it. Far side again. 1, 2, 3. Wave. Go. I said go. Stand, you monkeys. On 3. Do the wave. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Jeez. Dance, monkey. Dance. I'm not saying wave at the camera. I'm saying do the Mexican wave. Here comes Ryan. Are you ready? Ryan, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Here we go. Here we go. Get ready. Woo! Spotters did it. Yeah, keep it going. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. Stand up. Go. Keep the party going. If you're going to sweat just sitting here, why not just stand up and do the dance? Boom. Oh, weak. It's losing momentum. It's losing momentum. Make it all the way through here. We're going to do it all the way till boom. Here goes the cars. Our next battle. This is an all-Norway battle. It is Kenny Moen versus Fredric Aasbo. Kenny Moen leading that Lutz performance. Hitting the definitive off-course markers. Aasbo dipping tire. Moen going off-course. Dude, there is so much pride, Norwegian pride on the line between these two gentlemen.
Well, let's go back and take a look at this because some very significant things transpired on course. We know for sure that we've got some zeros out there somewhere. What will be interesting to see is what Fredric Aasbo did in the chase. Now, the off-course markers were most definitely hit by Kenny Moen right here, okay? That's a 0. Now, Fredric Aasbo drops a tire. Let's watch this. He drops a tire here, and he seems to take out a clip and also one of the lights. Now, the clip is counted as a strike. The light is counted as a strike. So by definition, that should technically be a 0 by Fredric Aasbo as well.
Get some clarification here from the judges. Now, these gentlemen have only seen battle once before, and Fredric Aasbo won, and that was back last round of competition. Fredric Aasbo and Kenny Moen, they did battle against each other in Atlanta the last round, and Aasbo won. Now, these gentlemen grew up racing Supras, or drifting Supras in Norway. And here they are competing, jumping the big body of water and competing here in the premier international drifting sanctioning body.
Well, Jared, we know one thing for certain, that Kenny Moen most definitely has at least a 0 on the first run, because we saw him make contact here. This is going back to something that is becoming a trend here now, is what the lead car does and how it affects the chase car, because Fredric Aasbo kept chasing him as he should as the car went through. He probably didn't even see that Kenny Moen had hit those cones. Aasbo makes contact with a clip. He also makes contact with one of the small course markers, not the 0 markers, course markers. Each of those count as a strike. Now, if Kenny Moen let him off course, okay, fine, then you can give Fredric Aasbo a break. We've seen that happen already today. And let's take a look at the replay again. Kenny Moen, okay, there's your 0 for Kenny Moen.
Crushes him.
Now, Fredric Aasbo has to use him as a moving clipping point. Does Kenny Moen lead Fredric Aasbo to make contact with those other 2 cones? That's what the judges have to determine. In my mind, you know, obviously he was trying to follow Kenny Moen wherever he should be going or wherever he was going. He did hit those markers, and it's going to be up to the judges to determine whether or not it was Moen that let him off in that area. You know, almost seems like Aasbo was kind of on his own right there for a second as he was falling back a little bit. But we will leave it up to the judges to determine what happens next. Yeah, no, I know he has. I know Kenny.
So now they're alternating the order. Fredric Aasbo will now lead. Kenny Moen will give chase.
Well, this is an interesting strategy for each of these spotters up here, because they have to decide what to tell their driver to do, how aggressive to run. We know Kenny has a 0. That we know for a fact. What we don't know is how the judges are going to basically indict Fredric, and whether or not he was driving defensively and it caused him to go off course and cause those two strikes, or whether that was independently.
Well, here we go. They leave the restart cone. We got a clean start as Fredric Aasbo initiates. Kenny Moen diving in. He knows he needs to apply the Kenny Moen with some contact from the rear. But look at this, Aasbo. He's used to this. This is no big deal. Usually it's his front end as Kenny Moen slams into the wall. Dude, is Aasbo just the Norwegian pinata now? Make some noise for Kenny Moen. If you're gonna crash it, stand on the roof. The old Alex Pfeiffer move. I mean, look at this. Is Aasbo the Norwegian pinata? People are just taking swings at him.
Well, the transition right here basically shows Kenny Moen accelerating, making contact with Fredric Aasbo. Aasbo tries to stay in drift as long as he can and then shuts it down. So this should technically be a pretty simple call, no matter what happens or what the judges decide on the first run. This should be a 0 for Kenny Moen for making contact right there. Aasbo was on throttle. That should give Kenny Moen 2 zeros and give Fredric Aasbo at least a score in this run. Fredric Aasbo should be the victor here. It's one of those kind of, I think, again, we keep saying this, you're never surprised. It was an awesome, awesome battle, very aggressive, great for the fans to see. But geez, man, the course, craziness.
All right, well, we're gonna clean up the track. We're gonna clean up the track here real quick, get Kenny Moen stood on his roof. We're gonna clean up the track here in a little bit and take a quick break. And let's go to the judges. There we go, Fredric Aasbo gets the win. He's moving on to the Grade 8. This is round 3 of the Formula Drift Championship. We're gonna get Kenny Moen off track. The action continues. Don't go anywhere, Drift fans. We're not gonna stop until who holds up that carbon fiber trophy.
My family came to the United States from a military dictatorship. Didn't have any of the freedoms that Americans hold dearly. The Air Force is not just a job, it's truly a calling. Our job in cyber operations is to ensure that the data and communications of the world are safe from attack. My family, they're extremely proud that their son served this country which they fought so hard to get to. My name is Captain Nicholas Aquino, and I'm an American Airman.
When it comes to slinging through the mud, sliding sideways, or just going straight down the strip, Exidy has you covered. Race over to ExidyUSA.com for more information.
woke up every day in the Air Force thinking I've got the best job in the world. Airplanes, jets, propeller planes, rockets, spaceships, starships. If it left the surface of the Earth and went somewhere else on an adventure, it just captured my imagination. The opportunities that the Air Force can offer are boundless. When opportunity knocks at your door, Be bold, be courageous in following that dream, step across that threshold and into that new adventure. My name is Colonel Alvin Drew, and I am an American Airman.
To be good at one thing is an accomplishment. To be great at many is to achieve excellence in diversity. At Falcon Tire, we thrive on competition. Whether it's American Le Mans, Formula Drift, or off-road, we constantly push to be the best. We battle it out on the track so you can conquer your daily commute. Falcon Tire, we get you going.
Achilles, tires you can trust.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hang up tires.
My family came to the United States from a military dictatorship, didn't have any of the freedoms that Americans hold dearly. The Air Force is not just a job, it's truly a calling. Our job in cyber operations is to ensure that the data and communications of the world are safe from attack. My family, they're extremely proud that their son serves this country which they fought so hard to get to. My name is Captain Nicholas Aquino, and I'm an American Airman.
When it comes to slinging through the mud, sliding sideways, or just going straight down the strip, Exidy has you covered. Race over to ExidyUSA.com for more information.
Welcome back here to round 3 of the Formula Drift Championship. What we just saw ensue, basically, the all-Norwegian battle. Kenny Moen, Fredric Aasbo. Fredric Aasbo gets the win because Kenny Moen just pushes a little bit too hard. Take a look at it once again, Ryan. There you see just Kenny Moen just wadding it into the wall. Again, Fredric Aasbo just minding his own business, man. Here he is, and Aasbo just takes it into the wheel. And look at, I love Kenny Moen. Just gets out, says, you know what? Yeah, that's what's up. I'm gonna go and stand on the roof real quick.
Yeah, and people at home should realize that in that first run where Kenny Moen zeroed out, I mean, technically that should end the run. The drivers are gonna keep going through, but you know, if you had a driver that were to spin off course or something like that and get a zero, technically that should end the run if the lead driver makes a zero. But these guys are competitors, they keep driving, and that's why you saw some of that stuff happen. But Kenny Moen nailing it hard, and what a great show for the fans.
And I just have a strong inkling, you know, already one half of the Great Eight is shaped. You know, we have Robbie Nishida, Dave Briggs, Chris Forsberg, and Michael Essa. We're back to the action, dude. Aasbo, he's going to be going against the winner of the next battle. Here we go, Vaughn, Gittin Jr., Conrad, Grunewald. Earlier I put up an Instagram at Jared Dienda, and it was yesterday, the battle of the ages, the blue oval versus the bow tie. Here it is in real form. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Conrad, Grunewald. Good initiation from Vaughn Gittin Jr., throwing it in. Look at that, riding that yellow line. Conrad Grunewald is right there. Nice job by both these drivers, man, tit for tat. Oh, look at that! Was Conrad Grunewald too aggressive there, Ryan?
Well, we'll have to take a look. Vaughn's speed certainly did seem consistent through that area. Again, we've seen that happen time and time again, where the judges will give fault to the lead driver for not staying smooth and consistent through the run and causing fault for the chase driver. But that particular instance right there, Jared, did seem like a mistake from Conrad Grunewald. Let's take a run at the replay. Nice initiation by Vaughn Gittin Jr., very snappy. Conrad Grunewald has a problem in initiation, and you can see Vaughn Gittin Jr. runs a nice wide line, does a great job. A little bit of a shimmy right there from Conrad Grunewald, not very fluid. Vaughn Gittin Jr. overshoots that clip just a tiny, tiny bit, but right here seems like a real big mistake by Conrad Grunewald. Vaughn Gittin Jr. did go pretty wide right there, but Conrad Grunewald just seemed to make a mistake in trying to avoid contact with Vaughn Gittin Jr.
To be honest, it seemed like it was from the start. I mean, Vaughn, if you independently just separated his run, that was a sick qualifying run. I mean, when Vaughn Gittin Jr. threw it in, you saw a little bit of hesitation from Conrad, and then just bam, snapped it in. And then into the sweeping turn, you saw Vaughn's HRE wheels just locked and loaded, counter-steered, and Conrad just had that bobble. Look at the smoke sitting here. We have the flags at dead mast right now. There's no breeze. You can see just the eeriness of the Nitto tire and Hankook tire smoke just looming over the track. The Hankook tire girls, they're on the start, cheering on their respective driver. The VLED start line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, off, and they send it. Here we go. Let's see as the miles per hour rack up 78, 80, 80, 86, 99, 95, 95.9 miles per hour. Where is Vaughn Gittin Jr. going? Vaughn Gittin Jr. goes way off course. Vaughn Gittin Jr. goes off course. This could be, quote unquote, a game changer. This could be a game changer for what's about to unfold.
Let's watch this initiation right here, but cones have been moved. Those are zero cones. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates. He goes wide right there. There's no brakes on Conrad. He does make contact with those. On the face of it, that should be a zero for Vaughn Gittin Jr. He has a little bit of a problem right here, but it's pretty much inconsequential the rest of the run. I don't know if he just did not estimate his initiation as best as he could. He had a really, really awesome lead run. You can see right there, he takes out 1, 2, and 3. Those are clearly off-course markers, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. could possibly be sitting on a zero. As far as I can tell, Jared, there was no mistake in Conrad Grunewald's initiation. His speed was where it was supposed to be. We saw no brake lights come on. Seemed to be fluid in that area. It just seemed to be like a mistake from Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the chase. Here's the lead run right here, Jared, and Conrad Grunewald, in my opinion, was at a pretty big disadvantage because Vaughn ran a very, very nice, clean, smooth run. With the exception of just being off this clip a tiny, tiny bit, it was an amazing lead run.
Yeah, but let's break down what Conrad's doing here.
Yeah, I mean, that right there, if you give that a zero, we could be sitting on double zeros.
Man, I mean, lesser of two evils. Sin is sin, right? I mean, at the end of the day. So here's Vaughn Gittin Jr. on his chase run, and you know, I hate to cut you off, but you're right. I mean, breaking each run down, you have Vaughn Gittin Jr. who led and had separately a killer lead run with Conrad making some mistakes, some corrections. Does that equate to a 0 or corrections here and there? Well, and then Vaughn just going off course. Hit one cone, hit 3. It's all a 0. Is there a larger sin than another sin?
No, I mean, and it's stated for Conrad Grunewald, if you want to make an argument for a 0, all it takes is loss of drift. And if that was loss of drift, that's a 0 for Conrad Grunewald. Clearly, it's a 0 for Vaughn Gittin Jr., and we're about to find out right now.
Here we go. One more time.
Yep.
It's a one more time. There you go. You know what? And I completely agree with this. I completely agree with this. And that just goes to show you that a 0 is a 0 is a 0. And that's it. The best way I can explain it is sin, man. You know, like, I just did it. You know, it's.
Well, that's why we've stated what equates to 0. Now, where it gets finicky is when you have the strike rule. You know, and the strike rule is pretty clear as well. But loss of drift or hitting an off-course marker is a 0, and clearly the judges saw that as a 0 for both drivers, and I agree. I think that was a mistake as a 0. If Conrad Grunewald held the angle on that last inside clip, we might be seeing him move on.
Yeah, exactly, because, yeah, he made some bobbles, but not loss of drift. He completely lost drift diving around that final clip. All right, here we go. We have Daigo, Saito, and Forrest Wang. We saw these guys already do battle in Atlanta, and here they are again as Daigo ripping through the course. Forrest Wang just making his own line, trying to dive in, and it just seems too big of a beast as Daigo Saito handles it around the course. And there's Forrest Wang. I mean, man, Forrest Wang was a front row seat in just some blazing fast cutlery there from the Ninja.
Well, let's take a look at this replay right here. Watch Forrest Wang. He cuts in real tight, and he goes below the wheel line of Daigo Saito from that angle. That right there should be a 0. That would be considered an illegal pass. But then right here, he really submits to Daigo Saito and goes off course right there. That most definitely is a 0. Daigo Saito on initiation stays a pretty middle line right there, but Forrest Wang just getting out of whack from the get-go. So they'll go back to the start line, and Forrest Wang will now take the lead against Daigo Saito.
Well, right now, Daigo Saito nowhere to be seen as Forrest Wang will lead. So as awesome as that lead run might have been, or with the Forrest Wang mistakes, both these gentlemen on Achilles radial. Lucas Oil Drift Team from UK watching. How we doing? Speedhouse Graham, take it down a notch, bro. Captain Planet, thank you for tuning in. Jimison Racing. Bucky Lassick watching. How we doing, bud? Sorry, man, haven't had dabs yet. Sam Shark, Sam Mercado, and Attack Works. We are clear to send. Forrest Wang leading. Daigo Saito giving chase. We are in the Ford Go Further top 16. Who's going to go further? We have 3 more battles left, including the one more time battle of Vaughn Gittin. Look at this slow start. Now Daigo really has to pace. Look at that feint entry. See that pre-flick? A feint entry from Forrest Wang. I'm sure he communicated that to Daigo Saito. But now Daigo with an advantage after that first run with Forrest Wang making those 2 critical mistakes. And I mean, it can't get much more clear cut from a judge's perspective as far as digesting the first run and now digesting the second run, I have to assume Daigo's going to get the win.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was definitely a 0 on the first run for Wang. He comes in real slow, Jared, as you mentioned. Daigo Saito playing it safe right here. I'm sure his spotter's communicating with him, letting him know the mistakes that Wang made in that first run. And just a little bit of a straightening right here from Daigo Saito. Not a big mistake, not equivalent to a 0. This should be Daigo Saito moving one step closer, as he should move on into the Great 8.
Scores in. Let's make it official. I have to assume it's going to be unanimous. Brian Egger says, and there it is. It's unanimous. Daigo Saito gets the win and advances on to the Great 8. All right, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Here's the one more time battle, the battle of the ages, the bow tie versus the blue oval. Ford Mustang of Vaughn Gittin Jr. and the Nitto tires, excuse me, Monster Energy Nitto tires, Ford Mustang RTR, against the Megan Racing Hankook tires, Chevrolet Camaro of Conrad Grunewald. We saw double zeros on that first battle. For just tuning in, Vaughn Gittin Jr. pulling away from Conrad Grunewald. Now Vaughn just loading the car. Nice job by Vaughn Gittin Jr. so far. Conrad Grunewald doing a decent job of hanging in there with him. And now, look at that, Conrad not making the same mistake twice. Fool me once, shame on me. You're not going to fool me twice.
Well, that was a classic Vaughn Gittin Jr. lead run right there, but what you'll notice is that Conrad Grunewald most definitely cleaned up his chase. He wasn't right on the rear door of Vaughn Gittin Jr., but he was right there pretty much the entire way. Does a nice job right here transitioning. Vaughn Gittin Jr., just a little bit of distance from Conrad Grunewald. Slightly shallower angle right there from Conrad Grunewald, just a little bit. Then as they transition back, Conrad closes the door right here. So no major corrections for Conrad Grunewald, and a nice lead run for Vaughn Gittin Jr. Now it's going to come down to this last run, and will there be a definitive winner here as these guys, and I think Conrad Grunewald is now setting the historical record for most won more times in Formula Drift.
Yeah, I mean, Conrad, if you can recall, just him and Daigo, that was just the battle last year. They would just go back and forth, and I'm trying to take a look here if Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Conrad Grunewald have seen battle before, and they have 2 previous times overall in the lifetime, and Vaughn Gittin Jr., he's 100% won both times. Can Conrad Grunewald finally just kind of being his Cheerios here, to be quite honest, as Conrad Grunewald is fighting against one of the best in the biz, and your current points leader. Your current points leader is Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Daigo Saito. He's already in the Great 8s. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. was your points leader. Daigo Saito second. He's already advanced. Will Vaughn Gittin Jr. advance and shake it up? Essa, he's also in the mix too. Here we go. Conrad Grunewald's going to lead. Vaughn Gittin Jr. giving chase. Nice job by Conrad Grunewald.
Oh, we have contact.
Hits him from the rear. Contact. Now, look at the speeds, 42.6 miles per hour. Is that in line with what Conrad has done? Let's take a look at this again. Now, I saw a speed of 42.6 miles per hour. That was through the sweeper, Ryan.
Well, nice initiation right here by Conrad Grunewald. Now, this is the most I would say the biggest part of the night right here for these two guys was that contact right there. And you can see the judges already asking for another angle on that. Most definitely there was contact. Vaughn Gittin Jr. right here gets real close to Conrad Grunewald across the finish line. It was contact, but not major contact that caused anything negative to happen. But if it was Vaughn Gittin Jr. that made the mistake there, he will be penalized for that. As we see Conrad Grunewald finishing up the run right here. So in the lead run from Vaughn Gittin Jr., pretty good. Conrad Grunewald, nice little chase, about even, right? Second run right here, Conrad Grunewald goes wide, Vaughn Gittin Jr. accelerates, makes some contact right there, no brake lights from anybody. He gets offline, then cuts the line a little bit here. That could be a pretty sizable mistake for Vaughn Gittin Jr. if they indeed give him fault for that contact. And we do have to decide fault. Drivers do have to, or the judges do have to decide fault once a contact is made. And that will determine what happens here if there is a one more time battle or if there's any damage to the vehicles. But that will also cause fault for the judges to say, oh, well, maybe this guy, shouldn't win.
Vaughn Gittin Jr., once again, here we are with hey, man, I'm going to take it from you. It's mine. Here, he went against Aasbo there in Atlanta and just went hard into Aasbo's nose. And here it is, the Hoonigan, Vaughn Gittin Jr., slapping the base. Instead of a base, it's a Camaro. Slapping the Camaro big time, door to door. As Vaughn Gittin Jr. and the judges are reviewing the tail of the tape. Here it is once again, Conrad, Vaughn, kaboom. And like I said, what really comes into play here is, did Conrad slow down that much by comparison over the past two rounds? And Vaughn's been there before. He just saw Conrad run, and
Well, this transition right here, drivers are obviously, they're lifting here and trying to position themselves. Both drivers were on the brakes at around the same time, and they were both off the brakes. And you can see acceleration is what essentially, in my eyes right now, caused contact with Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Conrad Grunewald. The judges will have to determine that on their own. You can see it right here. Both guys on brakes, Vaughn on the brakes again, and he still makes contact. That seems to be, in my mind, a mistake by Vaughn Gittin Jr. It would be really hard to make a case to say that Conrad Grunewald was slowing when he was off the brakes right there, and that is why we have those strips, Jared, so we can see how the brakes are being used. If the judges do give fault to Vaughn Gittin Jr. on that particular run, as for the contact, it could be a short night for Vaughn Gittin Jr. and definitely will have an impact on championship points.
I mean, knocked out of the top 16, not advancing to the grade 8, and look at this, Conrad Grunewald potentially advancing into the grade 8. He'd have a pretty good battle with Fredric Aasbo. And here we are looking at it once again. Now, why we're going back to this, to be honest, I know it's run one, but I mean, it was pretty definitive. I'd have to say JR, had a solid lead run. Conrad had minimal mistakes. I would give the advantage to Vaughn Gittin Jr. here. There was kind of some small mistakes by Conrad Grunewald, but breaking away the lead in the chase run, going to this run is kind of pointless in my mind. You really don't need to review the first run, but I know the judges are conversing, so it's a good opportunity to take a look at it. The judges aren't even actually reviewing this run. I know the judges are discussing the contact, what was made. I can see all the media kind of discussing down here what unfolded, what transpired, as the green lights could go off for Vaughn Gittin Jr. And Ryan, like I said, there's really no point to review run one. I think Vaughn Gittin Jr. had a slight advantage, maybe a teensy advantage after run one. Going into this round, or into this run, the second half, I'd say Vaughn hit him, dude. I mean, he definitely knee-jerk reaction.
He definitely hit him, but I guess the question is, what was the consequence of that? Did it cause Conrad to spin? No. Did it cause him to go offline? No. So what does contact mean in the eye of the judges when it doesn't make a change? I think that's what they're deliberating over there. And
okay, to play devil's advocate with you, if Conrad spun, it would have been worse. So Conrad should have spun?
Sure. Okay.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
If a hit caused him to go offline, if it caused him to spin, it would be way more aggressive of a hit than if it made contact and it didn't go offline. I think that's what they're debating there is when you have contact, yes, there's fault, but what does it equal to? What does it mean?
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Yes, I think that Conrad, he got knocked out of shape, but kudos to him for keeping it together. If you're saying, in future contacts, you should, pull, a flop. We're seeing that in NBA where, you're getting fined for flops.
And that happens, right?
I'm just saying, are we going to see flops here in Formula Drift where Conrad just gets hit and just throws it in and spins it out?
Whatever happens, the judges have to be accountable for what they decide, and once you have contact like this and you set a precedent for whatever the result is, it's got to be consistent from here on out. So we'll see what the judges' rule is on that. Maybe it would have been better if Conrad spun. We would have never known if he
We will never know. We wouldn't have never known. We will never know. Scores are in. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Conrad Grunewald going to the judges. Brian Eggert, Andy Yen, and Ryan Lontaine. The green lights are on for Vaughn Gittin Jr. Are they going to go out? Are we going to see him one more time? Do you guys think they should go one more time? Do you honestly just want to see them go one more time? Here we go. Brian Eggert, Andy Yen, Ryan Lontaine. Brian Eggert says Vaughn Gittin Jr. Andy Yen says one more time. Ryan Lontaine says one more time. They are going at it again. Ryan, analyzing those runs. This is the second one more time. Is this truly, it didn't affect Conrad Grunewald?
Well, Vaughn Gittin Jr. definitely had the better lead run. What the judges are saying now, at least the guys that voted for the one more time, is that the contact was enough for it to be a negative on Vaughn Gittin Jr. to equalize the advantage of his lead run. That's what I'm reading into what they're saying.
Does this promote contact as long as you don't spin the lead driver for future rounds of competition?
I don't think you would
ever take into consideration, Brian Eggert said Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Anytime there's contact from the chase and there was no abrupt stall by the lead, it's always going to be a negative on the chase. But the impact and the effect of that, if it causes him to spin or go offline, is determined by what the lead driver does at that point. Conrad Grunewald, all credit to him, gets hit, stays in line. It was probably a negative form in the
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
exactly. And maybe that's part of it. Here we go, the next run.
All right, thank you. We'll get back to that. Yoshihara, Matt Field. This is not the final battle, because we're going to go back to it one more time. Yoshihara leading. Nice. Oh, look at this. Yoshihara. Matt Field. Look at Matt Field taking on from Yoshihara, owning it like it's his job right now. Boom. I mean, we talked about the pass earlier. I want to look at that again. Completely went off track. Matt Field, boom. Here's the door, wide open. Matt takes the clean pass.
Well, Daigo Yoshihara just overestimates his transition into the second outer zone. He goes very wide right here. Now remember, if a driver is offline, the chase car can make a pass. In my mind right there, that was threading the needle. That would be a legal pass. It's not of consequence because Daigo Yoshihara, once he got that zero, we're essentially done. But Matt Field said, I would like to put on a show for the fans. I'm just going to keep driving.
Do you think all that was processing through his head? You know what, I could tell you that some drivers might have just bulldogged the back end of Matt Field's car. You talk about threading the needle. Here it is once again. But you see Yoshihara initiate going way too hard into the paint and then into boom, 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 taking out like Pac-Man, speaking of Bullet Bill. And Matt Field just, like you said, threads the needle and transitions and takes it like a boss. Matt Field from San Jose, California, CX Racing, Black Tracks, Rotiform, Fat Lace, V8 S14, just whooped up on Yoshihara right now. But hey, Yoshihara created that mistake and that opportunity for Matt Field.
It's not over yet, but I think, going back to our initial discussion at the beginning of the round of 32 and into the top 16, this was a must-win for Daigo Yoshihara, and he finds himself at a very big disadvantage. And at the same time, Matt Field, I mean, hey, if you want to sponsor a guy out there that's exciting, that's it right there. That was as close to a real pass as I've seen in this sport for a very long time, and that was amazing.
He is truly the Titan killer, dude, from coming off of those Irwindale battles of him and Daigo. you know, that was just monumental in my eyes. 2 one more times against Daigo, almost taking him out. He is the giant killer, and here he is. I mean, he hasn't taken him out yet, but that was just a standalone awesome run. Field and Daijiro. Now keep in mind the badass battle. Who's going to be the badass battle is featured on Off Track on Network A. It's kind of in the running right now. Matt Field. Whoa, look at this initiation.
Oh,
Yoshihara says, as Ryan would say, hello. Matt Field just needs to finish out this course. Dai is full of piss and vinegar right now. You know, there was a hive of bees here on track earlier, and I think the bees have gotten into Dai's car because he is driving like there are wild bees after him right now.
Well, watch on initiation, Dai very aggressively flicks, he gets on the brakes, and then just gets out of whack and goes off course for a second time. So that'll be a 0 for Dai in the first run and the second run. And Matt Field should be prancing his way into the Grade 8. An unbelievable performance by Matt Field, and just some frustrating driving from Daijiro Yoshihara just did not seem to be clicking tonight.
Oh, dude, I mean, Dai, like I said, there were those hive of bees. It seems like they swarmed in the cockpit of Dai Yoshihara's Falcon tire, discount tire. Oh, man, I'm just kind of at a loss for words. But, dude, Matt Field has got to have a grin from ear to ear as, you know, we featured him on the Off Track show, Off Track on Network A on YouTube. Look it up right now. We've had a lot of fun with this new series. Be sure to watch it. We highlight one of your Florida drivers in the next round, or excuse me, the next episode. Off Track on Network A. Be sure to look it up. Myself and my great counterpart, Jensen Argyle III, the Trey, if you so want to call it, and Danger Andy, our on-track correspondent. It's alongside on Network A with Turked, but we featured Matt Field, this driver right here, and he's one to watch, man. CX Racing, Maxxis Tires, V8 S14. I mean, we're reviewing it back and forth. I truly don't know why we're reviewing this at this point, Ryan.
Oh, I think it's just for fun.
Just to see the...
No. The scores are in. You know, the judges, when you can always learn something from watching and reviewing things, even though the scores might be in, and the judges were just looking at Matt Field's initiation, but I
already wrote it down on our personal bracket right here. Let's just go through the, you know, semantics. Matt Field, it's unanimous. Matt Field gets the win. Matt Field gets the win and advances on to the Grade 8. We have 7 in the Grade 8 right now. One more vehicle is going to join them. Who's it going to be? The Camaro or the Mustang? Vaughn Gittin Jr. or Conrad Grunewald? Nitto Tires or Hankook? The Blue Oval or the Bow Tie? Both All-American drivers. Both V8, 16 cylinders on track. 2 very unique blow-for-blow battles. And look at this. Dai Yoshihara knocked out. Points championship, shooken up. Daigo Saito's in. Essa's in. Is Vaughn Gittin Jr. gonna get out? Is it gonna shake it up even more? Dude, the plot thickens. It's so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Florida, Drift Stream. Are you guys having fun tonight or what? Make some noise!
That's going up against
Oh, dude, nice. Steve the Beeve dropping some knowledge on us. We talked about Matt Field and Daigo Saito at Irwindale last year, but here we are. Field and Saito are going against each other again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, the House of Drift, you guys might not be able to make it all the way on the other side of the country, or you might not even, you know, you can watch on the Drift Stream, but you're going to see it live and here in the flesh. You know, I mean, you wonder if he's going to pull into that magic hat and what he's going to pull out.
Oh, this is definitely the best soap opera in the world.
This is way better than As the World Turns, for sure. And, I mean, Game of Thrones, whatever, bro. Whatever. I'm just kidding.
Andy Luck wants me to tell you that you're echoing. Yeah. That's all he told me. What are we doing? What's my name? Why?
While the action continues here at the Drift Stream, All right, well, we're going to get these pairs set. A little low in the action here. When we come back, our final battle of the top 16. Ford, go further.
My family came to the United States from a military dictatorship, didn't have any of the freedoms that Americans hold dearly. The Air Force is not just a job, it's truly a calling. Our job in cyber operations is to ensure that the data and communications of the world are safe from attack. My family, they're extremely proud that their son served this country which they fought so hard to get to. My name is Captain Nicholas Aquino, and I'm an American Airman.
When it comes to slinging through the mud, sliding sideways, or just going straight down the strip, Exidy has you covered. Race over to ExidyUSA.com for more information.
All right, welcome back. We are ready to go with our final battle of the top 16. How are we doing, Topics? I know you guys are watching there at Buckingham Valley Vineyards in Buckingham, PA. Makers of some fine wine there in Buckingham, PA. Need to get out there and see their Topics in court.
Well, our second one more time here from these guys here tonight. Oh, no, is this our third now? Oh, this is number two.
This is number two. This is number two. Here we go. Are you ready, Florida? Our second one more time battle. Send it. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will be leading. Conrad Grunewald gonna give chase. Again, these two gentlemen have done battle twice before. Vaughn Gittin Jr. Look at Vaughn throwing it in. Nice job. As Conrad. Whoa! These drivers are just making it too easy for the judges.
Well, Jared, as a cloud of smoke kind of sits in the track right here, it looks like Conrad Grunewald may have definitively taken out some course markers. As you can see, he goes wide right there, hits a clip, and knocks out all three of the off-course markers, or actually all two on that side. Makes another mistake right there. And that should be a 0 for Conrad Grunewald. You can see right there, Vaughn comes pretty close to that as well. leading Conrad right to the line. Unless I'm missing something there, that should be a 0 for Conrad Grunewald. Take a look at this replay one more time.
Man, the plot thickens, the smoke thickens. You can see barely the checkered and American flag are waving as get full course cleanup from our hardworking crew. Round of applause for this hardworking crew down here. These two folks, this lady and gentleman down here. Hey, if you guys are into yoga, she fully gets pitted on some yoga game. If you guys are into some downward dog, I'm talking yoga, you sickos. As Conrad Grunewald and Vaughn Gittin Jr. are just going to take these things out like dynamite. Seeing all the bandanas in full effect right now. There we go, get a little breeze going. Mother Nature Zamboni going to work. Man, these guys are working hard for their free lunch, and gals. So if you haven't taken notice already, the white tall clipping points are do have proximity sensors if they are within a particular distance. These are only used as an aid. They aren't definitive as far as if they illuminate green that they're on and they hit it. They're just used as an aid. If they're within close proximity, they turn green. Dude, this is only our final battle of the grade 8. It's 9:20 local time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom, off. There we go. Conrad Grunewald, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Now, you talked about Conrad Grunewald hitting a deficit at this point, Ryan?
Oh, most definitely a 0 pretty much. You know, not even pretty much. It's a definite 0 for Conrad Grunewald.
All right, Conrad Grunewald. Oh, look at Vaughn Gittin Jr. Are you kidding me? Whoa, Nelly! Vaughn Gittin Jr., Conrad Grunewald. How Vaughn did not spin on that is unbeknownst to me. Make some noise, Florida.
Wow. Almost some contact over here.
That was backwards entry gangster stuff right there.
Talk about aggression. Conrad Grunewald knew they had a deficit overcome. And Vaughn Gittin Jr., how does he not spin right there? He saves it as Vaughn Gittin Jr. passes Conrad. That's twice we've seen that tonight. Conrad Grunewald goes clearly off course. I don't fault him for taking that risk, but he made a big mistake right there. He knew he had to overcome a 0. And Vaughn Gittin Jr. should be your victor here. After 2 battles, we've seen these guys go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. How does Vaughn Gittin Jr. hold that angle? Only he knows and his mechanics know. Great job by the guys at ASD to really, really awesomely built car. And Conrad Grunewald, this should be it for him tonight.
Ryan, Drift fans, round of applause for Conrad Grunewald and Vaughn Gittin Jr. right now. 2 hard-fought, one more time battles, 3 head-to-head battles in its entirety. Conrad Grunewald battered and bruised, and I have to assume Vaughn Gittin Jr. with just a gangster flick into that sweeping turn. Going to the judges. It's unanimous. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win and advances on to the Great 8. Conrad Grunewald, hats off to him for just going hard as nails. Man, Conrad just gets dealt some very tough hands. I mean, between Daigo and, gosh. You know, he went against Darren McNamara that last round. I mean, unbelievable. Yeah, starting your own wave. I'm liking it. There we go. Keep it going. The wave coming through the crowd here. Our grade 8 is shaped. We're getting set. This is round 3 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by GoPro. The United States Air Force, the official military branch of Formula D. Yeah. Spotter stand blew it. There you go. There you go. All right, guys, you ready? On 3. Boom. Loving it. song says don't sweat the technique. I don't know how you do not sweat at all right now. Here it comes, coming towards us. Blah! All right, our first battle is on deck. Robbie Nishida versus Dave Briggs. Yeah, dude, check your pulse, man. This is unbelievable.
Now, those are some great battles by Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Conrad Grunewald.
But I got to tell you, hats off to Vaughn on that entry when he, or not entry, but that
holding
second
that
flick,
angle.
that transition.
Yeah.
I don't know how he didn't spin.
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was going to rotate, spin. Conrad goes off. That would have been one more time, maybe.
Well,
probably
no,
would have gone to Vaughn.
If Conrad already.
All right, doesn't matter. Whatever. It's over, bro. It's old news. On to new stuff. Dave Briggs, Robbie Nishida. Briggs going to lead as he's our hot. What? We went from all this craziness to like, what just happened? Meh. Went to Grumpy Cat all of a sudden.
I know exactly what Robbie Nishida is thinking right now. There were some definite brake lights on Dave Briggs coming into that initiation right there. Watch the heavy braking right here. Coming down the front straight into initiation. Brake, 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 and then contact.
Yeah, come on. I mean, you know, brake lights don't lie. Wrong run there, bro.
Oh,
I know it was good. We're going back to it. There's that Vaughn Gittin Jr. angle that just looks so sick.
Well, Jared, getting a definitive from the judges. Contact was made on course. Must find out who was at fault. David Briggs given fault for the contact there. Judges think he held the brakes just too long right there, causing the contact with Robbie Nishida. And it seems to happen. It happened last year with Daigo Saito and Justin Pollock, which caused a ton of controversy. We've seen it already here tonight a few times. On initiation, the judges really want to see a smooth, tight flow, and David Briggs just on the brakes too much right there. The judges giving fault to David Briggs.
You know what? I like that. I mean, nothing against Dave Briggs, but dude, he braked. He stood on that thing like he was standing his post, dude. He was glued to that brake. So here we go. Robbie Bushido Blade Nishida. He's going to lead Achilles Radial SC 300 as Dave Briggs with this deficit right now. Good transition for Nishida. Now bringing it into the chicane turn. Let's see how Nishida utilizes the whole course. Nice job by Nishida. A little bit slow there around that final flip, but dials it in. 91.5 miles per hour from Nishida, so you can't fault him for going in too slow. As we take a look at it once again.
Well, obviously a huge deficit for David Briggs to overcome as Robbie Nishida initiates. David Briggs gives him probably a little bit too much space in the chase, considering the zero. And this should be an easy call for the judges with David Briggs at a zero on his first run. Robbie Nishida going through the paces in the lead position and crossing the finish line. This should see his first berth of the season into the Final Four. And here we go, scores are in, and it is unanimous.
Robbie Nishida, sorry bro. He's over there, choking on M&M there. It is Robbie Nishida that gets the win. Hey Man Products. Hey man, you just moved on to, get this, the Final Four. Robbie Nishida's in the Final Four. As Dave Briggs should hold his head high as he made it into the Grade 8 here at round 3. We are set for our next pair. You can see them off in the distance. 2009 Formula Drift champion Chris the Force Forsberg. He's not to the line yet, but who is? Michael Essa, BMW E46, GSR Autosports, Bilstein Coilovers, Yokohama tires. Forge Star wheels on each corner. WiseFab suspension components. GSR Autosports, his own shop there in Southern California. You can win a car from Bill Stein shock absorbers. Be sure to go to billsteinus.com as GSR Autosports is building a BMW utilizing Bill Stein shock absorbers. Go check them out at billsteinus.com. Chris the Force Forsberg, 2009 Formula Drift champion, now living in Baltimore, Maryland, from Doylestown, PA. Topics, I know you're watching. Moses, wake up and watch your uncle here race. As Andy Lapuka jaunts off there in his gay Andy yellow. Look at that stance there of Andy Lapuka there off in the distance. Hands on his hips. Here we go. Chris the Force Forsberg, 2009 Formula Drift champion, NOS Energy 370Z. Who's moving on to the Final Four? Now remember, Chris Forsberg is 7th in points coming to this round of competition. Michael Essa is 4th. Send it. Chris the Force Forsberg going to lead. Michael Essa going to give chase. Here we go. Let's see what kind of speeds we see here on entry. 80, 90, 90.6 miles per hour. Good entry from Forsberg. Utilizing the whole course. Here's Forsberg riding that yellow line. Oh, Forsberg going over that line. Illuminating that front clip. Now bringing it back nice and tight. Now, we saw Forsberg go off course here a little bit, Ryan.
Well, one cone apparently did get knocked over. Michael Essa not starting out too well as he transitions right here. Chris Forsberg definitely goes very deep. We'll have to see if any of the cones were hit. From that angle, you can't really tell, but he definitely dropped one tire. Michael Essa, in the meantime, in the chase position, struggling a little bit at the beginning. I think we need to see that from another angle just to verify. You see Chris Forsberg going deep, deep, deep. Seems to be pretty clean right there.
I think so.
Let's take a look at this replay one more time. Let's make it definitive whether or not we have contact here with an off-course marker as Chris Forsberg transitions. Can't see it from that angle. Let's see it from the other angle.
Now what we're reviewing here is what if Chris Forsberg hit the definitive off-course marker.
Let's see it right here on transition.
It's the middle of the second three. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's the fifth one. 3. There's the 4th.
Yep, that's knocked over. That was a nice catch by the judges right there. Very, very small tap, but he did knock over a course marker, and that is a 0 for Chris Forsberg.
So now Michael Essa, excuse me, will be leading with Chris Forsberg giving chase. Now, hopefully, Chris Forsberg's spotter is telling him that, hey man, you have a 0 here. You need to apply the pressure. And, you know, earlier we saw the lead driver against Chris Forsberg have a 0, and he let it all hang out. Now he really needs to apply the pressure, just as he did earlier to his competitor of, I believe it was Odie earlier. Here we go. Michael Essa is going to lead as Forsberg gives chase. Coming into that first turn. Already out of the gate, diving in, shout. Look at Forsberg. Door to door, wheel to wheel. Wheels back at it again. Banging doors. These guys look like they're at a missile party out at Willow Springs. Are you kidding me? Wow! Michael Essa and Chris Forsberg. That was a missile party if I've ever seen one, but they're doing it with pro cars.
Well, I'm super bummed for Chris Forsberg because literally it was a story of inches by knocking over that outer zone cone, that off-course marker, because right here he really, really is aggressive with Michael Essa. He does make some contact right there, but what a great show for the fans. I mean, there's no real way you can go here. There's no 0s from Michael Essa. Chris Forsberg sitting on a 0, and unfortunately the 0s that we've seen tonight, Jared, have typically been way, way off course, so it's so easy to make that call when you have a situation where you've said an off-course marker is a 0 and Chris Forsberg just barely knocks it over. It is an unfortunate case of events for him, but he does put on a great show for the fans and an awesome chase run.
Chris Forsberg, you know, I don't know if you know what a missile is. If you're into drifting, you know that These guys, you have to have a really nice car to have a missile, by the way. You need to have a comp car or a pro car or a higher caliber car, and then you have a kind of a junkier car. That would be considered your missile car. These guys, Michael Essa and Chris Forsberg, I've seen crazy missile party footage, and the results are in. Chris Forsberg, Michael Essa, I have to assume it's Essa, and it is unanimously. Michael Essa gets the win, taking out Chris Forsberg. Essa is in the Final Four. Now Chris Forsberg getting knocked out. Hey, I want to send a shout out to South Florida drifter Kevin Phillips. Kevin Phillips, there you are, buddy. South Florida drifter, your 350Z over there in the Exity booth. Thanks for my fans really know me. Dogfish, bring me beer. Kevin Phillips brings me a 90-minute Imperial IPA as a gift. It's on ice right now for as soon as the podium's over. They get the champagne, I get the sweet beer. So Kevin Phillips, South Florida drifter. Are you going down to CFRC there? What? Tomorrow, bro. CFRC, you're going down there? Boom. Chelsea, you're headed down. Ryan Turk, Jeff Abbott, are you going down there? I don't know, we'll see. Semi-retired drifter. Well, tomorrow, the aftermath down at CFRC, Central Florida Racing Circuit. Crazy, dude. Forsberg knocked out. Here we go, our next battle.
This is a big one.
Oh, this is a big one. Well, they're not even to the line yet. They're not even to the line. So Michael Essa, he's in the Final Four. He's going against Robbie Nishida as Aasbo and Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Eyes and your ears, though. But you said something close. We did. Okay, here they come.
You want to talk about this?
I'm ready to talk about it. Fredric Aasbo, Vaughn Gittin Jr.
What do you say, Tom? Get him up there.
All right, a little lull in the action. Florida, are you guys having some fun or what? Make some noise! Is that okay, Tom? Is that good? There we are. Yeah, look at this wacky wavy and Fredric, crazy arm guy there in the orange t-shirt.
Well, Jared, we're just waiting for Vaughn Gittin Jr. to get to the line here. And this is that battle that we talked about from Road Atlanta. The one of...
You guys are on the camera here. Fan cam there. Durden, looking at you, buddy. Taylor Durden. Durden, I'm talking to you. Oh, dude, you guys changed these cameras on me. You're killing me. There we are. There's the wave starters. No more waves right now. No more waves right there. Blue shirt raising the roof. There is no roof at this building currently. All right, are you guys ready? Here we go. Back to the action. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Fredric Aasbo. Hey, I'm trying. You guys left me. All right, getting real philosophical here. Vaughn Gittin Jr. leading the points. Fredric Aasbo. Ryan, this is the pair. This is the dynamic duo. We saw Monster Truck versus the Norwegian Hammer, who's now the Norwegian Pinata. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is going to lead. Fredric Aasbo is going to give chase. Oh, the insanity ensues. That is Formula Drift. Vaughn Gittin Jr. clear cut. Nice clean run. Fredric Aasbo, good chase. Approaching that final clip. Let's just put our hands together for a nice, clean, straightforward battle. That golf clap right there.
Well, let's take a look at this in detail. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates. Let's see where he's at on the line. Leaves just a little bit earlier there as Fredric Aasbo transitions. He got just a little bit of weird transition for him too. Slight gap right here is Fredric Aasbo. The rest of the battle, they're pretty close together. You can see Fredric Aasbo right on the line right there with Vaughn Gittin Jr. and they cross the finish line together. So no major off track or contact or anything like that. Pretty clean run. Only thing I saw Vaughn Gittin Jr. leaving the first outer zone a little bit early and Fredric Aasbo a slight, not just a weird transition to the second outer zone and then was able to get right on proximity. Ooh, making contact there almost. These two guys across the finish line. So now Fredric Aasbo will lead Vaughn Gittin Jr. to give chase.
Like,
Maybe it's from.
all right, Fredric Aasbo will now lead. Vaughn Gittin Jr. giving chase. Hashtag FDPB. Formula Drift Palm Beach. FDFL as well. My poet, and I didn't even know it. Here we go. Life in the fast lane in more ways than one. Fredric Aasbo. Now, this is where the insanity ensued in Atlanta. Aasbo, a little delay maybe. That's what Vaughn called it. Then Vaughn just took out his nose. Here we. Oh. Oh. We're seeing the restart in effect. We're currently seeing Vaughn Gittin Jr. utilize the restart cone.
Well, it is the chase car's decision to utilize the turnaround cone, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. looks like he did it before the turnaround cone there, and it is his right to do so.
Something that's even being brought up by Fredric Aasbo's spotter. Did Aasbo jump the start? It seemed like they left at the same time. Vaughn, yes, he's losing traction there, but he's using the restart cone where he stops. Now kind of reviewing what's going on here as Aasbo finished out the course. We are in the Nitto Tires Grade 8. We have Nishida and Essa in the Final Four on one side of the bracket. On the other, well, if you didn't tune in, if you didn't tune in to Formula Drift Atlanta, this is the run we are referencing. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Fredric Aasbo. Let's go ahead and roll tape and talk over this, Ryan, as Vaughn and Aasbo got into a tussle, what some would call the monster truck battle.
We'll see.
As Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Conditions are ever changing. Fredric Aasbo leading. Vaughn Gittin Jr. giving chase. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa! Holy cow! Nitro burning car, crush in action. Vaughn Gittin Jr. just stays in it. What the heck? Wow! Vaughn Gittin Jr. just climbed over the Scion TC. Make some noise, Atlanta!
Well, obviously that is the instant replay and the footage from Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Aasbo. That was deemed our badass battle on Off Track on Network A. It was definitely a battle of the ages and what we call the badass battle. Vaughn Gittin Jr. thought that Aasbo kind of bulked up there, and right now, look at this. Aasbo is just parking it up there as we're finding out what's going on.
Well, Jared, as you know, the restart cone is really made for something very specific. If the chase driver feels that he got punked off the line or did not get a good start, it's his right to stop before that cone and turn around. Vaughn Gittin Jr. definitely looks like he had the intention of stopping. He kind of rolls through the cone a little bit. I think that's what's being disputed by his team, and our guys are looking at the replay again and also checking the verbiage in the rule book so we can make sure that we arbitrate this properly. But no doubt the intention by Vaughn Gittin Jr. to stop before the start line, feeling that he did not get a good start against Fredric Aasbo. And we'll see here just in a few moments. I mean, I don't see why there shouldn't be a restart at this point. Obviously, the intention was there. and he clearly stopped before the cone. It's just a matter of whether or not these guys see it differently. But
Thank you for your patience here. A little low on the action. What came into play here, we talked about the restart cone. Vaughn Gittin Jr. utilizing the restart cone, braking before it. Yes, he wrapped around it. We have a flagger that should signal the lead driver to restart. And what happened there was he was unable to catch the lead driver in order to see the flag and stop and restart. So he had a full pull.
I know everybody wants to be perfect, and that's pretty much what's going on over here. You know, it's real simple with the restart cone. If the driver stops, the chase driver stops before the cone, it's a restart cone. I think what's being debated here is, you know, Fredric Aasbo's team doesn't necessarily think that it warrants a restart. I'm certain that if we do a restart, he'll be able to get a new fresh pair of tires and all that kind of stuff, and we'll basically start back anew. But Vaughn Gittin Jr. feeling like he didn't get an equal start. Obviously, you can see the brake light comes on beforehand. It seems like it follows all protocol. So we'll see what these guys decide and get this thing on the road.
Get this. Yeah, I mean, it's.
We want to see battles. We want to see
battles.
We try to make regulations rules so it's fair and safe for everybody. And personally, you know, I just want to see the guys go out there and go 100%. These turnaround cones and all that kind of stuff, you know, we can debate all that. I'm not a huge fan of it. I just want to see the guys go full bore and go nuts. But hey, this is the reason why people ask us to do these things. They want a fair show, and this is what we got to deal with sometimes.
Well, we're seeing Fredric Aasbo's spotter, actually the team owner, Stefan Papadakis Racing. He's saying, dude, did he jump? Did he kind of abuse the power of the restart cone? I love talking about this stuff because people, you know, we're making it as crystal clear for you guys and as transparent for you drift fans, you know, because these judges, these drivers, a lot of them catch a lot of flack, and we're making it as transparent as possible with education to you. So I hope you can appreciate that. We can only go so much into depth, but right now we're making it as transparent as possible for you, the fans, both here in the stands and tuning in online. And, you know, haters gonna hate. Go ahead and walk on water. I don't care, but, you know, we're just trying to educate and drop the knowledge. Is this being abused? I don't care. Like you said, this is just something, the progression of the sport.
Even if it was being abused, we don't have anything in the rule book that says that we have to find out whether somebody abused it or not. All we say is that if the chase driver wants a restart, all he's got to do is stop before the cone. That's what happened, and we're finding out right here that is going to be validated. Fredric Aasbo can get a new fresh pair of rubbers on, and there we go. Well, you know, tires.
Easy. It's a family show, bro. All right. Well, at this time, we're going to take a quick break as Fredric Aasbo does get that fresh set of rubbers on all four corners of his Scion TC. He's going to be burning rubber here with Vaughn Gittin Jr. for the second half of this battle when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You're here at the third round of the Formula Drift Championship presented by GoPro.
woke up every day in the Air Force thinking I've got the best job in the world. Airplanes, jets, propeller planes, rockets, spaceships, starships. If it left the surface of the Earth and went somewhere else on an adventure, it just captured my imagination. The opportunities that the Air Force can offer are boundless. When opportunity knocks at your door, be bold, be courageous in following that dream, step across that threshold and into that new adventure. My name is Colonel Alvin Drew, and I am an American Airman.
Welcome back here. We are in the Vaughn, Gittin Jr. Fredric Aasbo battle. We are going to review the first run between Aasbo and Gittin, as this was not the run where he instituted the restart. So this is where Vaughn, Gittin Jr. led and Aasbo gave chase. And this is the first battle. This is one more time. So let's go and roll that tape here with the replay. We have it on deck, but you know, Vaughn led pretty straightforward. This run is the one that's being scrutinized, but it's as if that one single run of Aasbo didn't even happen. So we'll get a clean restart now as we take a look at this first portion of this battle, so it's fresh in our minds.
Here is the first half. This is what the judges will be judging. We noticed that Fredric Aasbo and Vaughn Gittin Jr. had some slight corrections both at the beginning on initiation and on transition, but for the rest of the run, pretty standard procedure. Vaughn on a nice line, Fredric nice and tight right there. So that is run number one. Now we'll see run number two after we've got through this fiasco on the restart. Looks like we will go to the next battle. These guys get prepared to come back to the line. Right. Fredric Aasbo with a fresh set of tires. And
I wish we'd have done that sooner. Dude, we'll eventually see it. Aasbo and Gittin, the action continues. Saito in field.
We're not doing that. I don't know how that happened.
Okay. Psych. All right, so we are not moving on to Saito and field. We are on the second half of this Gittin Aasbo battle. Aasbo will be leading. This is, again, the second half. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will be giving chase. We are in the Nitto Tire Great 8. Fredric Aasbo on the Papadakis Racing hand-cooked tire, Scion TC 4-cylinder turbo, versus the obviously V8 Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Mustang RTR of Vaughn Gittin Jr. Here we go. Ryan, we're finally going to see it, or are we? Are we going to see another restart here? All joking aside, he better not. There we go. Fredric Aasbo is going to lead. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is going to give chase. Initiated into that first corner. Nice job by Aasbo. Vaughn Gittin Jr. right on the tail of that Scion TC. Through the sweeping turn. Nice job by Aasbo. Illuminating the front clip point. Nice job by both these gentlemen, drifting through the finish line. Now, I'm sure the judges will revisit the first half of this run. So take a look at this again.
Well, going back to the first run, Jared, remember it was pretty even. Both guys had some mistakes, I thought at least. On the second run, nice job by Fredric Aasbo, but he comes off a little bit. Vaughn Gittin Jr. anticipates, gets back on him right here, tit for tat all the way through as they transition into this first inside clip and then the second inside clip. I mean, I could very easily see it one more time here.
You took the words right out of my mouth, man. I mean, it's exactly frickin' frack, tit and tat, and carbon copies of each other's run in the lead position and in the chase position. I mean, you can alternate them and it almost be duplicate. It'd be like the Ghost Racer mode in any video game. As we take a look, again, this is only the third battle of the Great 8. We have one more battle after this. Daigo Saito, Matt Field. It's currently 10 p.m. here in Florida, and we're not even in the Final Four. Vaughn Gittin Jr. waiting patiently. If they do go one more time, I'm sure, hoping and assuming that Daigo, Saito, and Field will go against each other. And then we'll revisit. Results are in, here we go. Ryan Sage, you said one more time, what do you think? Brian Eggert, Ryan Lantain.
It's close,
and
it's close. I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong as well.
Go to the judges. The verdicts are in. Aasbo Gittin. Brian Eggert says. Vaughn Gittin Jr. Aasbo says. One more time, Ryan Lantain says. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win as Fredric Aasbo is knocked out. Boos fall over the crowd right now as Vaughn Gittin Jr. advances on in his Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Mustang RTR. How we doing again? This is Jared Deenda. We have 3 drivers in the Final Four. Robbie Nishida is going against Michael Essa on one side of the bracket. Now on the other side, you just saw, and I heard some very loud boos as Vaughn Gittin Jr. takes out that of Fredric Aasbo. But Vaughn Gittin Jr., your current points leader, advances on, and they're still kind of bellowing in here as we still have one more battle in the Great 8 to shape our Final Four. Currently, Nishida and Essa, which I believe Nishida hasn't had a podium for multiple years, and I believe this is dating back to New Jersey, some of the first few years, right? I mean, Nishida hasn't had a podium. Joey, you're kind of looking at me. Nishida's last podium was back in Jersey, back in like 06 or something? No, 04? Seattle, he did have a podium in Seattle. Thank you very much. And don't have the stats all in front of me right now, but just kind of have a, some statisticians in front of me. My mind's kind of like a wide array sport sometimes, just kind of wipes out there. But the final battle will be Saito and Field to go against Vaughn Gittin Jr. Daigo Saito, currently second in points. Vaughn Gittin Jr., currently first. Essa, currently fourth.
And after we get through this battle, I've got some pretty interesting information for you that will be very noteworthy as we move into the Final Four, but let's watch this pair first.
Daigo Saito, Matt Field, we saw these gentlemen do battle in Irwindale. Here we go, send it. Daigo Saito initiating into that big sweeping turn. Look at Daigo Saito going a bit off course there. Matt Field applying the pressure, allowing Saito to kind of pass in front of him. How Field is navigating through that thick Achilles smoke. He's doing a great job. Cuts through the knife. Bullet Bill is on the attack.
Well, Jared, let's take a look at the replay right here. Daigo Saito, weight transfer into the first outer zone, stays nice and tight right there. Matt Field trying to close the door right here. He's on a little bit of a shallower line as Daigo Saito drops the tire right there, does not hit any cones. Matt Field does a good job tucking in on the inside right here, and then also on this last inside clip. Really, really great job by Matt Field on the second part of the run. I would have liked to see him closer on the first half, and Daigo Saito dropping this tire, slight deduction right there. But back and forth battle between these two competitors. We find our last spot into the Final Four.
Now, you said you had some exciting news. Again, we will wait for that after this battle. Well, let's wait for that. Some very interesting updates on the battle and what's unfolding. So there it is again, Daigo Saito initiating. Great smoke, and Daigo Saito, one of the best chasers in the business.
So here's the other angle, Daigo Saito, transitions. Matt Field was behind until this point. Daigo does drop that one just barely right there and comes off that zone just a little bit early and then gets back on it. Matt Field takes advantage of that, tucks up right underneath. Now this is a really important battle. Judges looking at it time and time again, make sure that they've got all the data points covered as we get into now where Matt Field will take the lead against an excellent chase driver in Daigo Saito.
So now Matt Field will lead. Daigo Saito will give chase. Looks like we're getting thumbs up from the drivers. Join us over at the podium. We're awarding the carbon fiber trophies. It's on your way out. Stick around. It's always a good time. Crack a beer and hang out with some of your favorite drivers. They always seem to linger around. Matt Field's going to lead. Daigo Saito's going to give chase. Let's see what kind of miles per hour we're going to be seeing from Matt Field as he leads in a supercharged V8. 96.3 miles per hour on the entry of Matt Field. Let it all hang out. Can he hang on? Look at this! Oh my goodness! So, Ryan, another situation. Did he lead Daigo Saito off? Did he independently go off course?
Well, let's find out who zeroed first. That's exactly what happened here. Matt Field shoots out wide. Nice job. Transitions back around. Matt Field.
But Daigo goes so deep. Why did he? I mean, he shot off. Like Field barely went off. Daigo just, boom, he almost hit the tire wall.
Well, remember from Chris Forsberg, it doesn't matter how much or what extreme. If you hit any of those off-course markers, it's a zero. What we need to see is from the other angle to see if Matt Field does it first. Looks like both drivers kind of go off at the same time there. It was pretty close. Both drivers go off. Daigo obviously more extreme. It doesn't really matter. The judges need to ascertain who was kind of on the flight there, but this area of the course has become for major scrutiny tonight, and it's certainly going to come into play here after I give you a tidbit of information after this run. But both drivers going off course there. Let's see it again. Obviously, how the judges determine this particular aspect will obviously give us our winner. Daigo, you can see aggressively going off. Matt Field going off as well. They both hit one of those off-course markers.
This just balances out. To me, it's double zeros. To me, it's double, you know, or they both get zeros on this run. I think Matt Field was, he was going to go off, but look at Daigo. He's going in reverse. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the, follow the lead car like a moving clipping point, this would show Daigo trying to do that, but going much more aggressively.
He's even off course before Field is, and look how much deeper he goes off course. So that just tells me he was going in way too hard independently. Yeah. So I just have to count this as, both of them messed up independently, just like a McNamara situation earlier. Or excuse me, I like referencing the J-Lo battle. It was the Jeremy Lowe and Dave Briggs battle where they were just so far apart. Yes, these guys were close, but Daigo just went hard. Did he? I don't know. So I do know, and that's how I feel. Going back to run one, because my opinion is this should be zeros. The second run doesn't matter, or it's just zeros. The first run of Saito leading and Field giving chase, Saito dipped a wheel. Field didn't do a great job. I have to say Field gets the win right now.
I think you're absolutely correct. It's very easy to make a case that both drivers were going off. Obviously, Daigo was going off more aggressively. This is what these guys are scrutinizing. And then going back to the first run, you could certainly make a case for Matt Field. I mean, this area has just caused so many issues for drivers tonight, and I understand why. They're bringing so much speed into this first outer zone and just trying to time perfectly as the track conditions are changing this second outer zone. And we saw Chris Forsberg go off. We saw these two drivers go off. We've seen Vaughn Gittin Jr. go off. We've seen Conrad Grunewald go off.
J-Lo, Dave Briggs earlier.
Every driver is pushing it, and we're seeing both drivers here in this instance go off and hit those off-course markers. So,
look at that. That's great. That's a great shot. Look at how deep and off Daigo is by comparison to Field. Already, Daigo was destined to go off track before this race even before this battle even started.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's the boneyard over there, dude. Fiberglass Alley. I mean, that thing has claimed so many bumpers and wings and body parts. I mean, you could build a car based off of the parts that are left over there. I mean, if you want to assemble a car, you could go scrounge around there. I mean, I definitely don't encourage it. There might be snakes or alligators, but, you know, catch a tetanus shot before you go out there, too. Like I said, dude, I'm kind of thinking Field gets the win, which, you know what? Dude, how crazy would that be? Look at this. Nishida, Essa, Field. Like, dude, those complete dark horses. I mean, no offense to them. Already in the Final Four, Nishida and Essa. And, you know, it's just crazy, man. I mean, are you guys loving this stuff at home or what? I mean, Florida, are you guys loving this stuff? Palm Beach, come on, make some noise. Obviously, if you're still here, you're loving this stuff. Thank you guys for sticking around. Again, Jared Yenda, you can tune in if you're here in the grandstands. Thank you for sticking around. It's already 10 o'clock. The bars stay open late, yes, but we want to get there. We want to party. We want to celebrate. This is the third round of 7. Every round after this, formula.d.com/live, livestream.com/formula-d. Anything else to add, dude? I'm just pumped up.
I'm stoked it didn't rain.
Dude, now you just watch.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Yeah, we still have a few more battles left to go, dude. Don't curse us just
yet. Don't mess it up. I know.
It's cool. I mean, knock on these. Can we get these tables at every round of competition too? All right, dude, these judges are still scrutinizing this run. I hate to do it to you, but we have to take another commercial break. Let's pay the bills here. Formula Drift presented by GoPro. We'll be back. We're gonna find out the verdict between Saito and Field. And don't go anywhere. Saito and Field, Vaughn, Gittin Jr., Nishida, unbelievable. Here we go, send it.
Every day in the Air Force thinking I've got the best job in the world. Airplanes, jets, propeller planes, rockets, spaceships, starships. If it left the surface of the Earth and went somewhere else on an adventure, it just captured my imagination. The opportunities that the Air Force can offer are boundless. When opportunity knocks at your door, be bold, be courageous in following that dream, step across that threshold and into that new adventure. My name is Colonel Alvin Drew, and I am an American Airman.
Oh, man. Well, Ryan, do we have a verdict yet? Again,
I believe we do.
Our Final Four, Nishida, Essa, Vaughn Gittin Jr., and right now it's Saito and Field. Here we go. Verdict's in. Field and Saito. Brian, Andy, and Ryan say, one more time. Andy N says Daigo Saito. Ryan Latain. Daigo Saito gets the win. Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Booze ensues.
I'll tell you what. Even if you don't agree with the call, you can't fault the judges for being consistent. They've been talking about this all night. They've been judging on that lead car as a moving clipping point, and the lead car dictating the pace. Daigo Saito was within proximity, and whether or not he was on a little bit of a different line towards that part there, they've called this particular incident consistently all night, whether or not we like it or they like it. They've been consistent with it. The lead car is a moving clipping point, and give a round of applause to Matt Field. He's a legend.
Dude, legendary status. Books will be written. Graphic novels and books will be written about the folklore of Matt Field from San Jose, California. this one young lad who shroud his wing, his cutlery on the back end of his V8 S14 with comic book characters, goes toe-to-toe with some of the best in the business.
Is that Bane?
No, that was kind of my, like, kind of Lord of the Rings, like, no, let it enter your body. Let it come on. Then that went a little James Bond.
Do you want to know the news?
Ryan, update me on the news right now. So, Daigo, Saito, Vaughn, Gittin Jr., Robbie Nishida, and I'm assuming it has something to do with Michael Essa and Chris Forsberg's battle.
It does. Chris Forsberg's team has enlisted a petition on a non-subjective part of judging, which is their right to do and a valid thing to do. They are protesting the cone hit that gave Chris Forsberg a 0, and they are saying that he potentially didn't do that, or they want to be reaffirmed that he did. And because that is a valid petition on a non-subjective area of call, the chief race director is going to take a look at it right now. So we're going to have more delays before we get to Nishida and the next battle.
So I mean, going through the rule book, you talk about delays, yes, but so if that cone wasn't knocked over, does that change the outcome? With Essa sitting on the line, could that reverse the call and Chris Forsberg gets the win, or could they run again?
It's what the race director and the judges need to determine. I mean, I think we all saw the cone getting hit over. I think Chris Forsberg's team is disputing the clarity of that. And again, that is their right to do. That's a non-subjective part of judging, and we have specific rules in the rule book that talk about that.
No.
Yeah, we know that. So, Ryan,
we actually have the footage once again of the Essa Forsberg battle, and this is where Forsberg, you know, we saw him. I believe he was leading, right? Yeah, I mean, he was leading. So this is what's under protest is the off-course marker. So you see him go deep here. And you'll see the definitive cone markers, not here. We'll keep going. And you see how far Michael Essa is back. So, again, his team calling a non-subjective call. There's the first, right there. See the bright red light. That is the first off-course marker, not hit. Here's the second off-course marker, approaching on his back bumper, not hit.
And yeah, it's not in these that they're
No,
protesting.
it's none of the first three. It's not the set of trio. There's the third. Now, I believe it's the fourth or the fifth. It's after these three red dots, 1, 2, 3. You see the clip. You get the 6. So there's 3 more small ones as we go frame by frame here. Now Forsberg is obviously still definitely off course. I believe it is. Is it this one?
It'll be down.
And do you see that? Okay, going frame by frame.
It's down right there. Go back.
It is down there, but
scroll back.
Ryan, what's interesting to me is, did he hit it, or did the pressure of his car blow it over?
That's a more nuanced discussion. The rule is knocking it over. You can see it right through the window that it's knocked over right there. So that is what they saw the first time around. His team is petitioning that, but it's pretty clear.
You barely see it right over the nose of his car.
You want to pause it. You want to pause it right when it goes through the window there, and we take a look at another angle.
Oh wow, let's see what transpires here. I don't believe this shows it any better, because I believe, oh yeah, this could very well show it.
There it goes.
Oh, there it goes. There it is. Where was that earlier? Where was that angle?
No, that was up. That was up.
And you see it just get blasted off. So that is the definitive answer. Now, we do have Scott, who is Chris Forsberg's spotter, and we do have Matt Powers, who is Michael Essa's spotter. Matt Powers, unfortunately, not making it into head-to-head battles. He is spotting for Essa, who Matt Powers might have to retire drifting and become Essa's spotter.
Wow.
I mean,
Look, I got to tell you, I respect Chris Forsberg's team for being very, very clear and transparent about what they were trying to get accomplished here. They wanted to see that it was definitively down. I think we all saw it from the get-go, but it is their right to go through these things, and they did protest properly. And even though it puts a delay in the actual event itself, we've now given greater clarity to it, and we can move forward.
You know, I think you'll find some of the fans that were even standing right there on that bank. I think it was the force. You know, it was probably just the force of his car and the power and the, you know, just the smoke and the wind. You know, the arrow just kicking off blew it over. But if you're that close, you're definitely off course. You know what I mean? So it is a bummer, but you know, it's a bummer for Forsberg, not a bummer for Essa, as you know, kind of put a nail in the coffin for himself for Forsberg. So. It stands.
It's never dull here at Formula Drift, Jared.
It is never dull here. Are you guys having fun? Florida. Media, run, bro. We don't need a human clipping point. Homeboy's just lollygagging on track.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
How we doing, the Achilles Radial girls here? As Nishida and Saito are both in the Final Four. One half of the bracket, Essa and Nishida. The other half, Vaughn, Gittin Jr., and Daigo Saito.
Well, it's a continuation of round 2 for Daigo Saito and Vaughn Gittin Jr., as they will definitely extend their lead over the field here. Number 1 and number 2 in the position. Great job by those guys no matter what happens here. It'll really be a battle to see if Daigo Saito can take out Vaughn Gittin Jr. or if Vaughn Gittin Jr. will beat Daigo Saito. That'll clearly give him an advantage.
And we saw them do battle in the Final Four in Atlanta, and Saito won that battle, and
right.
He went on to battle Darren McNamara, and Saito won. So we've seen these gentlemen go at it before, as we have Robbie Nishida and Michael Essa. Taking a look at Michael Essa's stats and seeing if he has gone against Robbie Nishida before in the past. Michael Essa competing in 25 events. As here we go. Here it is. Robbie Nishida. Oh my gosh. And just another loss for words here, as these guys most definitely knocked over those cones.
Well, Jared, I think that was the fastest entry of the night, as our speed gun over here says 104.9 miles per hour. So are you surprised that Robbie Nishida overshot that second outer zone? Watch right here as he transitions. Both guys leave together. Michael Essa tucks in. Robbie Nishida goes wide, hits that cone. And we'll take a look at it from that other angle, but from right here in the judging stand, you can see Robbie Nishida definitely hitting that cone there. So a huge problem area for these drivers, not only earlier on in the top 32 and the top 16, but now really playing a role is that second outer zone and those off-course markers here in the Final Four.
And also, you know, this is a case of, this is where I believe he truly led him off course. Essa was door to door with him, but you know, there was really close proximity, and it just seemed that Robbie did lead Essa off course. Now, these gentlemen have seen battle against each other. They are currently, you know, Essa has 1 win and Nishida has 1 win, with Mike Essa beating Robbie in Atlanta back in 2010. And then Robbie Nishida won at Las Vegas in 2012. So this is last year where Nishida took out Essa. Now Mike Essa will lead on this second run. Michael Essa with 25 events overall.
Wait, everyone hold on.
He has 2 top 4 finishes. And his highest finish so far is 4th in Atlanta. Michael Essa has never podiumed before. He has never held a carbon fiber trophy. Could this be his first in his vehicle? Here we go with Michael Essa. Here we go, Michael Essa. Michael Essa is going to lead GSR Autosports BMW. Make some noise, Florida. Here we go, send it. Michael Essa transitioning. Good job by Essa. Whoa, Michael Essa, almost like a double initiation there. Flicking it out even deeper. Kind of a wonky sweeping turn. Let him know you're here.
Well, Jared, all we need to look out for here is a 0 from Michael Essa, because that's what Robbie Nishida has. This should be very, very simple for everybody to understand at home and here. Robbie Nishida has a 0 on his initial run. And here we can see right here, this is the first run. It gave him the 0.
So like I said, Mike Essa, highest finish was 4th at the last round of competition.
Here's the second replay, Jared. Let's look for 0s. No 0s so far. Not the greatest lead run by Michael Essa. He angles out the car at full lock, and then brings it back, and then brings it out again. But definitely no 0s on course. There should be easy call. Michael Essa possibly to his first final of the year.
And here is the second one on that sweeping turn. This is where it gets, you know, he's off that thing, and then watch him just go deeper with that angle. Did you see him just pouring on?
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest lead run for Michael Essa, but certainly nowhere near a 0.
The results are in here, Ryan. And there it is. Michael Essa gets the win. Michael Essa gets the win against Robbie Nishida.
If you think it's non-subjective and you want to petition it, go ahead. But we got to do it the proper way. You got to write it up and give us $50. That way we don't have protests for no reason. But
all right, here we go. Well, Michael Essa, he's guaranteed his first ever Formula Drift carbon fiber trophy. His first ever Formula Drift podium. Round of applause for him. Michael Essa, I'm super stoked for him. So Michael Essa at minimum is guaranteed second. Nishida is currently right now, he's saying that there was contact between him and Essa. As Nishida All right, well, right now, Robbie Nishida, you can see him pull away. Michael Essa gets the win. Quick break here. Vaughn, Gittin Jr., Daigo, Saito. They're our next pair here in the Final Four.
Achilles, tires you can trust.
and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hang up tires.
Oh man, the plot thickens. We have seen more written protests here, and the plot thickens. I mean, to be honest, we're getting some more drivers talking about more drivers talking about what's unfolding. Well, here we go. This is the second half of this Nitto Tires Final Four. Daigo Saito, Vaughn Gittin Jr. These gentlemen only have seen battle once before. It was in Atlanta at the last round of competition. Daigo Saito ended up winning. Here we go. Daigo Saito, good job riding that line. Vaughn Gittin Jr. applying the pressure. There's Vaughn Gittin Jr. wheel to wheel. Nice job. Make some noise for Daigo Saito and Vaughn Gittin Jr. A respective battle between two champions. 2012 and 2010 Formula Drift champion.
Well, Daigo Saito, not the greatest lead run. He should have been a little bit wider right there. A little bit of dirt. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets on it. Nice proximity right here. Good angle. Daigo Saito does a good job on that inside clip. Transitions back around. Vaughn Gittin Jr. again right there. So this is not the greatest lead run for Daigo Saito, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. has a pretty decent chase. So you can see again right here on the replay, really, really sucks up right there. I thought Daigo Saito left the first outer zone a bit early, and he also did not really reach out to the second outer zone. So that is his effort for his first lead run.
Yep.
And just bear in mind what Vaughn Gittin Jr. did in his chase as he now leads.
Well, taking a look at some of the stats here, it's fairly interesting. Vaughn Gittin Jr., his highest qualifying as of mostly recent, was first at Monroe in 2012. Interestingly enough, Daigo Saito hasn't acquired that #1 qualifying spot. Isn't just like a knockdown, drag him out, amazing qualifying driver. The highest he's ever qualified was actually 5th, and that was back at the last round of competition, Formula Drift Atlanta. So. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will now lead as Daigo Saito will give chase. We're ready to send him. Again, this is the second half of the Final Four. Michael Essa going against the winner. Robbie Nishida going against the loser for third place. Consolation round. Who's it going to be? Vaughn Gittin Jr., Daigo Saito. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates into the first turn. Nice job utilizing the whole course. Daigo Saito's right there. Vaughn Gittin Jr. riding that yellow line. Oh, dipping some tires, Vaughn. Daigo Saito is right there. Vaughn swinging wide there. An uncharacteristic wide line by Vaughn Gittin Jr. Ryan Sage, taking a look at that again, you definitely saw Vaughn touch the dirt.
We'll go back to the first run. Remember, Daigo Saito didn't have that great of a lead run. Vaughn Gittin Jr. does go wide here, does a great job, but he does drop a tire right here. It's pretty clear. One tire drop. No course markers a hit. It's definitely not a 0. Daigo Saito really good on the chase here, stays nice and tight. Vaughn Gittin Jr. comes around this last inside clip. A little wide right there. Daigo Saito stays with them. So both drivers have really good chase runs. Here's Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s tire drop. It's small. It's nothing crazy, but it's a tire drop. And it's going to really come down to how the judges view both lead runs. You know, is it really that big of a deal that Vaughn Gittin Jr. dropped that tire? How big of a deal is it that Daigo Saito left this first outer zone a little early and didn't make the second outer zone? Seems like you could potentially say that it's leaning towards Vaughn Gittin Jr. depending on how you judge that tire drop.
Ooh. I was going to say Daigo. Saito, with the advantage. After that first run, yeah, Daigo had some mistakes, but Vaughn with that tire drop. But Daigo just had a phenomenal chase run there. I mean, he had a good chase job.
And you don't think JR had a good chase job, or you don't think
I
it was good?
I thought it was good. I thought it was strong, but Daigo just seemed that much more superior, even with the mistake.
I'm with you. Definitely could be that. I mean, Daigo's a great chase driver, man.
I got your number. All right. I believe we have verdict. We have the scores. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Daigo, Saito going to the judges. Brian Egger says, one more time. Andy Yen says, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Ryan Lantain says, Daigo, Saito. We're going one more time.
So obviously the judges were about as similar as you and I, because I was thinking kind of Vaughn Gittin Jr. I didn't really think the tire drop was all that bad. And obviously, these guys thought that it was pretty split. Obviously, you can't have any more diversity than one driver, another driver, and one more time. So,
oh man, the pressure mounts as you keep inching closer and closer to me here as this battle continues. And now keep in mind, which is Andy Yen's favorite saying, keep in mind that Vaughn Gittin Jr. is leading in points. Daigo Saito is second in points. And this is the third round of 7. How we doing, Florida? We're winding down, but we're winding it up here. Michelle Forsberg, I see you. Abby Gittin, how we doing? I see you on the big screen. There you are, Mitch. Who else you spying out there? MyCulture.com t-shirts. Yeah, pump it up. Oh, there's the Gittin fans. The Gittin gang. Getting crazy. Dawn, I see you. Now we're seeing Daigo Saito awaiting a fresh set of rubbers. Regardless, he will be running again the outcome of the he's already doing one more time battle. Sorry, we can't advance. They need to get some rubber on this vehicle ASAP as Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Saito is a one more time as Homeboy's all up in our shot there. How we doing, dude? Getting some rubber underneath the Lexus SC430 of Daigo Saito. There.
Okay, Rick, that's a good shot right there. I know you got guys in your way. Rick, you're live. Not really. So, commercial.
Well, you can see some fresh Achilles radial getting underneath the vehicle of Saito. Now's a great time. Want to thank our sponsors, Formula Drift, presented by GoPro. GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. United States Air Force, official military sponsor of Formula Drift. And Ford, go further. Hand-cooked tires, be one with it. Hand-cooked tires. Nitto Tire, fueled by enthusiasts. Falcon Tire, we get you going. And Achilles Tire. Get your phones back out. I want you to win, at least one of you, to win a GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition. Text and win. You have nothing better to do right now. Text GoPro FD, GoPro FD, to the number 20300 to enter. One lucky fan will be chosen, only USA participants. So if you're outside of the US, dude.
So there you go. Text and win a GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition. GoPro, the official camera of Formula Drift, has transformed the way action is captured today by introducing a truly unique perspective to sports and professional video production industries around the world. Take your track session to the next level with the new GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition, mountable anywhere and capable of capturing the 12 megapixel photos at a rate of 30 seconds per photo. If you're sitting at home watching the Drift stream, check out some videos here in the downtime. Go to YouTube, check out the Network A channel. Next Network A off-track episode featuring myself and my counterparts, Jetson Argyle III, Danger Andy, and of course check out Turked with bonus episodes going on right now. There you are, Robbie Nishida. Robbie Nishida, there you are. Congratulations. You're in the consolation round. You could grab a carbon fiber trophy. Ryan the Kid Cotto, lifeblasters.com. Dean Carnage Carney, how you doing, buddy? Watching from the sidelines. What's Robbie Nishida going to do to Cotto? Dude, do not touch his face. You have the dirtiest hands in all of business.
Hey, are we sending or no? Yeah, hold on.
As Gary Castillo sits off watching two of his vehicles that he's worked on, Design Craft, working on the Bridges racing team of Nishida and Saito. So here we are. We're back at the one more time battle between Saito and Gittin. The action and the event might be winding down, but the action does not wind down. I guarantee you, this event is not over. The event is definitely not over. Here we go. Daigo Saito is going to lead. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is going to give chase. As we leave the start, this is a one more time battle. Let's see what kind of speeds we get here. 70, 80, 90, 96, 96.8 miles per hour on the entry. Good transition. Vaughn Gittin Jr., a big straightening there. A huge straightening. He pours Angelo back on, barely seeing even the green LED. Oh! Holy cow! Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s monster truck terror continues. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Well, let's go back and take a look at this replay. Vaughn Gittin Jr. seemed to be struggling out of the gate. His car seems to maybe have sustained some damage as well. But you commented on it, Jared, this transition right here. Vaughn Gittin Jr., I mean, Daigo Saito's nowhere near that outer zone, but Vaughn Gittin Jr. straightens up right there, so that's a deduction for both drivers. Then you can see right here as Vaughn Gittin Jr. closes the door a little bit, the transition, watch Daigo, let's make sure he stays. He's transitioning into that last inside clip, and there's contact there. We've seen contact there twice tonight.
And look at this, Daigo. Now, Ryan, this is where it gets interesting.
Well, look at Daigo's line. Daigo is way off that outer zone, and obviously it affects Vaughn. He makes a mistake, and both drivers come in. Now this is about even right here. Watch the transition. Vaughn was on the brakes right there and then made contact.
And he is not on the brakes as he centers his door. Dude, back down, bro. I know, like, we're trying to run here, but you saw the contact. I mean, Mr. Plow, that's his name. That name again is Mr. Plow as he takes him just totally in the door. Back off the throttle a little bit, man. I mean, seriously, I know we saw this, but I feel like this is just a repeat of just being on the throttle. And see, I mean, you see how he's on the throttle. He had to stop finally as the wall was there.
Negative.
And Daigo Saito inspecting his vehicle.
Well,
Jared, on the other side.
We're just hearing from the judges right now, as you guys know throughout the night, because we've had so much contact here. Once contact is made, the judges need to have a majority vote on who is at fault. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is at fault for the contact, so that will play a role depending on how much damage is to Daigo Saito's car. Daigo Saito will have as much time as he needs to fix his car to get back to the line, assuming that it is not totally broken. Remember, this came into play against Aasbo Gittin in Atlanta, where Fredric Aasbo had ample amount of time to fix his vehicle to get back to the line. He was able to do so pretty quickly, and then we had the battle that ensued. Same situation here.
Same other driver as well.
Daigo Saito will have as much time as he needs to fix his vehicle. Going back to that run, though, you know, Vaughn Gittin Jr. definitely got out of whack and put himself on a wrong line. Daigo Saito made a big mistake on entry. He was way off that line, and it obviously caused Vaughn Gittin Jr. to make a mistake as well. But once they got tightened up right here, there's really no other way you can see fault for Vaughn Gittin Jr. The judges noticed that, and that is what puts us in the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah, and here we are again with another delay. I mean, it's only because the drivers are pushing so hard. Obviously, hey man, I got to sing and dance up here too, you know? So for me, it's like the action is only getting delayed because these dudes are just pushing harder and harder. And I got to say, you know, they're letting it all hang out. They're putting on a show for you guys. It's competition, and we are officially getting to competition timeout. Is that from Vaughn? So Vaughn Gittin Jr. is officially calling a competition timeout. He can no longer use them anymore, but so if he needed to fix his car again, but look at the, you know, here's what's interesting is the fiberglass door of Saito, he might need to get taped in there, but obviously, you know, that is a skin of a door. We're gonna need to put that thing on a trolley. And what's crazy is we can't advance to our next battle. We can't move anywhere right now. I mean, we are at a standstill. I mean, dude, you don't have to sit up here and talk all night. You just get to sit there, look fat, dumb, and happy there, Joe. I mean, it's just a crazy insanity of a season and we're only into round 3, and we're only into the final 4. Florida, I have to ask you, and on Drift Stream, are you, I mean, with the delays, are you guys having fun tonight or what? I'm telling you, are you having fun tonight or what? Thank you. At least we got that going for us. You're seeing exciting driving. Ryan, you have an update for us. What's going on?
Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s car has apparently sustained more damage than they feel that they can have to fix it if they were to have any time frame to do so. They are going to forfeit this run. They are going to give the win to Daigo Saito and allow him to advance on and go to prepare their car for the 3rd place consolation. So they are conceding this battle.
They're conceding this battle. That means Daigo Saito is in the finals. Daigo Saito is in the finals. He is going against Michael Essa. Daigo Saito is going to the finals as Vaughn Gittin Jr. now calls a competition 5 minutes to get his car together.
He has not called anything yet. He's just going to go get his car fixed right now.
Doug just told me that he called the competition 5 minutes.
He doesn't have to. No, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. He doesn't have to. He's not on the line. Let Ryan fill in the details.
Okay, well, so he doesn't have to call a 5-minute rule?
Yeah, he's not at the line. He's not at the line right now. He once we go and get the 3rd place battlers at the line, if he wants to at that time, then he will now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Respectively so. So, regardless. Okay. So Doug just informed me that he called competition timeout. You are correct in saying, obviously Vaughn is right there. His team probably working on his car now. So right now it's Nishida and Gittin in the consolation round for 3rd place. Essa, Daigo in the finals.
Right. So now that we've decided who the final is, we go to 3rd place. We'll now get Nishida to the line. What Vaughn's team will most likely do is they'll call 5 at that point. They're just trying to squeeze as much time as they can and giving themselves an opportunity to try to fix the vehicle.
Yep. You're completely correct. Kind of jumping the gun there, but Doug, I'm sure was referencing calling 5 minutes on fixing it. Unable to be damaged or unable to be fixed, sustaining the damage, and he is out. So again, man, unbelievable. And there is Saito conversing with his Achilles Radial Bridges Racing. Let's take a look at the Gittin Saito battle. Now, Ryan was talking about, and there it is. Yeah, I mean, he's middle of the track. He's not utilizing the whole course like Gittin was. Yes, he was off course, but this is just what baffles my mind is you never see Gittin kind of get off the throttle. Just watch him send to this door. Boom. I mean, he had the lack of angle and just pushed him out of the way. It seemed like Saito said, all right, dude, I'll turn here. And pretty crazy. So now Saito on the flatbed.
So Jared, as we move Daigo Saito's car off of the track and we clear it up, we will start to stage or begin to stage the 3rd place battle. At that point, Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s team will most likely call 5 to be able to instigate a competition timeout, give themselves some more time to get back to the line. and fix any damage that they have, but they'll have 5 minutes from that point.
I feel like this is a Grumpy Cat meme right now. It's like, more from the drift damage, meh, delay of time, meh. Thank you guys for joining us. My sunglasses are off. I know you guys are making fun of me, just having some fun here. Thank you for joining us here on the Drift Stream. Again, this is Jared Deenda, Ryan Sage. Join us for the podium ceremony after this for every round of competition, formula+d.com/live. Right now, I ask you to tune in, and also for future rounds, we're having a lot of fun with a new video series called Off Track. It's on Network A, which is YouTube's channel. That's also where the Turt Show is at. Also, we have the Battle Tested, the new Formula Drift video series. Plenty of videos at this time. If you haven't seen Battle Tested, let's take a look at it right now.
So Daigo Saito came in as a ninja last year, hot off his run for D1 championships in Japan. And in my eyes, he did a very good and clever job.
I think Daigo Saito is one of the best tandem driver in the field right now because, you know, he's really aggressive. As far as the proximity, which is most important thing for tandem, he's amazing.
He's a competitor. He wants to win. I wouldn't think that he wouldn't be coming out there just blazing saddles.
You know, you watch him in practice and you would think it's the final round. So watching him in tandem it's inspirational. It gets you motivated to get on someone's door.
I think there's no question in my mind and the mind of others that Daigo will most certainly win another championship. The question is, will it be this year? And I think the competition is really, really tough.
You know, I think Daigo's victory in Atlanta was somewhat stellar because of all the changing conditions that were happening there, going from hot to cold, rain, no rain, the conditions changing all the time, going from daytime to nighttime. So a driver that wins an event like that have had to gone through and have adapted through the various changes.
After returning to Long Beach this year, I thought that both drivers and machines have upped their games. I was knocked out at top 16 in Long Beach and was very unsatisfied. This time I wanted to make sure to get to the top. The surface was half wet and the conditions were very, very challenging. I needed to make as little mistakes as possible. The series just started and it's too early to strategize. But what I know is that you have to stay near the top in standings to be in the race for the series championship. I just want to take each battle one at a time.
All right, we are back, and we're finding out, Ryan, what's happening here is Robbie Nishida, once he pulls to the line, I'm sure Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s team will be calling a competition timeout. Therefore, he has 5 minutes to start working on his car, or 5 additional minutes, I should say, because I know right now they're working on his car. So Robbie Nishida is on the start line. Robbie Nishida is on the start line. The 5-minute clock has started. It's starting right now. So the 5-minute clock has started the competition timeout. Robbie Nishida, you can barely see his headlight over there, as now Daigo Saito's car is being backed off of the flatbed. And there it is, you see Nishida on the start line. And Vaughn Gittin Jr. obviously in the hot pit area. They're working feverishly on his car. As soon as they kind of defected and what'd you call it, basically called out and said, we're done, we're not moving on. They conceded that round to Daigo Saito. I'm sure they started working on the car. But once Nishida's car got to the line, if it wasn't there, they needed to call that competition timeout.
Well, it's a pretty smart move on their part, because if they knew that they couldn't fix the car to go and compete against Daigo Saito for the rest of that battle, it would have put him in a really bad position, because they only get one competition timeout per competition. So for them, bowing out actually bought them additional time, and now we're just waiting as the clock ticks down for Vaughn Gittin Jr. to come to the line, and Robbie Nishida basically just waits there and to see if he will have an opponent here to decide third place.
Yeah, I mean it's been a crazy day today, man. I mean, once we, Ryan, we were scheduling out here what's going on. The 32 and the 16 and the 8 and the 4. I couldn't have told you that this event. This looks like a very straightforward track, and it just is wreaking havoc on these drivers. And, here we are. We're finally in the consolation round. We're finally in some podium battles, and Nishida and Gittin is for 3rd place. And we still have one more battle after this, Essa and Saito.
Well, if there wasn't enough, there's plenty of action on track that's taking place tonight for internet fodder. So I'm sure it'll be just a wonderful surprise when we get back on Sunday and Monday.
Internet fodder. Go ahead and put on your tinfoil hat, right, as you like to say.
Yep.
And just start praying to the spaghetti god, right?
Right.
Flying spaghetti god. Well, the action continues here. This is round 3 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by GoPro. Also brought to you by the United States Air Force, the official military branch of Formula Drift. Also, don't go anywhere. We have the on-track announcement of the top 3. Right before that, the Speed Hunters Best Battle of Formula Drift. How do you choose? Well, this pressure all lies on Larry Chen, feature editor of Speed Hunters. He chooses what he thinks is the best battle of Formula Drift of this particular round and every round hereafter. So I'm going to throw it down to him right before our top 3 get to the track. Taro Koki, our GT channel correspondent, will be down on track. He'll also be interviewing Daigo Saito up on the podium, but Daigo Saito at minimums guaranteed 2nd. Can Essa not only get his first ever podium, will it be the highest spot of the podium? If he does, he'd have to make his way through one of the best in the biz, and that is Daigo the Ninja Saito. Crazy.
Well, the other interesting aspect is we don't know how much damage has actually been done to Daigo Saito's car. I mean, there's a question mark there. His team is not allowed to take the car back to the pit. They actually have to fix the car on the grid, and there is some concern that perhaps maybe they don't have the abilities there to do that. So we don't even know what Daigo Saito's car, his shape is in at all.
He could not even pull the line. Essa could win by default. I mean, let's paint the picture here. And that could also happen with Nishida and Gittin. I mean, this is literally last man standing. I mean, this is literally a gladiator duel here in Florida.
Yeah, what did we do wrong in a previous life, pretty much?
Oh, wow, that's a little magnanimous. I wouldn't go that far. But, hey, you guys want to see more drifting? You're going to make your way over to Central Florida Racing Circuit. Tomorrow, the aftermath. We got Chelsea Denofa. They're going to be down there. Ryan Turk and the 2 Floridian drivers, Pat Gooden and Jeremy Lowe. Well, Ryan, the Formula Drift TV show, myself, you, and Taro Koki, we're on that. NBC Sports Network. It's going to be sliding in the comfort of your own home. Different angles, different views. Here's a commercial for the Formula Drift TV on NBC Sports Network. Well, there it is, Ryan. We talked about it. The exact dates again, as they will be airing on NBC Sports Network. Formula Drift presented by GoPro. Myself and Ryan Sage, your hosts, and Taro Koki. And we are just finding out. So June 15th is when it begins to air. And Ryan, we're getting an update on the action. I'm just hearing from Doug, our competition director, Vaughn Gittin Jr., unable to come to the line. That means Robbie Nishida is your 3rd place finisher. Robbie Nishida gets 3rd place here in Florida. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. unable to pull to the line. Your points leader still makes it to the Final 4, but just barely, and muscling his way in, literally and figuratively, in more ways than one, and through more drivers than one. Unbelievable event here today. And Robbie Nishida, we haven't seen him on the podium in some time, but man, congratulations to him.
Well, now it's going to get interesting, Jared. We're going to have Robbie Nishida run through his buy run here, get him through. Then we will bring Michael Essa and hopefully Daigo Saito to the line. If Daigo Saito does not have his vehicle fixed at this point, he will most likely enact a competition timeout in the same manner that Vaughn Gittin Jr. did, and then we will wait until either the 5 minutes expires or Daigo Saito comes to a line. I mean, there has been nothing short of a ton of drama this evening, and it's been a great competition. I'm so glad that it didn't rain. Please hold off here for just another half hour or so as Robbie Nishida takes a victory lap, and he zeroes on his Civic, of course.
Oh, dude, he don't even need to run here. He's just, make some noise for him. Robbie Bushido Blade Nishida gets So Robbie Nishida in the Achilles Radial SC 300. Makes his way back to and he is your third place finisher. Current time here in Florida, 11 p.m. This is probably the latest event, I mean, outside of Vegas. Vegas goes fairly late, but no longer visiting Sin City.
Check 1, 2.
So Robbie Nishida with only one podium in the past.
Might end like this too.
So yeah, Robbie Nishida's best ever finish was third at Monroe in 2008, and here he is getting third place again. What?
What's that? What? I just looked it up. You said you got it wrong? Oh, really? Third at Monroe in 08. What did you tell me? Hey, real quick.
All right, so look at this. We are seeing Daigo Saito work on his vehicle, and right now.
So Daigo, oh, he needs as much fucking time as he wants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Larry Chin up here so we can get this out of the way.
All right, so Daigo Saito working on his vehicle. And you can see, do they have the equipment and do they have the time to work on the vehicle? Interestingly enough, Daigo Saito currently has ample time to fix his vehicle. He was muscled. What do we got going on here? Oh, wow. Is that final?
Hey, an update if you guys want to know, update on your Pacers and Heats. Spoiler alert, if you want spoiler alert on Heat versus Pacers, close your ears if you don't want to hear. The Heat lose to the Pacers 77-91. Miami Heat 77, Indiana Pacers 91. All right. Larry, you coming up here? Yeah. Here, climb the wall. Trying to get him up here, right? Yeah. Where's Taro? So you see team battle version there, Alex Pfeiffer's company, battle version suspension parts. Kevin Wells, technical director there, Cecil Begay in the gray shirts. Kevin Wells checking out, making sure they're working on the vehicle. You can see the Achilles Radial Bridges Racing team working on Daigo Saito's car. Michael Essa, he's ready to run. He's stoked. This is his first podium, and it's going to be second place at minimum. Can Daigo Saito fix his car? Is Essa going to get a first place finish as a bye? Look at this. We got welders out, man. That's how intense this damage was. You know, you don't have a race hammer. You got a race welder there on pre-grid on hot pit area. So right now, as we have Daigo Saito fixing his vehicle, we have the Speed Hunters battle. Yeah, go ahead and put those on. Speed Hunters. Best battle of Formula Drift. Every round we're going to choose this now. Speed Hunter's best battle. And joining me up here is a great friend of mine, Larry Chen. Larry, go ahead. And the camera's over here, buddy. Oh. You're used to being behind the camera.
I'm not used to this.
Yeah, I know you're not used to this.
What am I supposed to do?
You're just supposed to talk normally and comfortably. So
okay.
This is Larry Chen, speedhunters.com. I know you've seen a lot of his photos, you know, and all these, you know, these media guys. You have fans yourself, right?
No.
Yeah, you do. I saw you.
Don't.
You're being humble.
Oh.
Larry Chen, a great friend of mine. I'm an ordained minister. I actually married him and his beautiful wife May this February. So congratulations to him. I still consider you newlyweds.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Well, moving on with what we're talking about, the topic of the hour, the Speed Hunters best battle of Formula Drift. Now, this is something that Speed Hunters is doing. Explain kind of what the idea here is, or maybe they can vote, you know, on what's going on, or is what stands out to you?
I think what really stands out to me is just someone who goes maximum attack. You know, just doesn't really care, I guess. And I think Forsberg did that this time. I mean, he didn't have anything to lose, you know, with that second run versus Essa, and he really drove hard, and I really liked it. Yeah.
So that was the Forsberg versus Essa battle, and we talked about you know, Forsberg hitting that cone and on the second run. So you're talking about his chase run here, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about his chase run, and I mean, he got so close. He's basically rubbing tires with Essa, and I thought that was just amazing.
Rubbing rubbers.
Yeah.
Well, we actually have that clip here. This is voted by Larry Chen, feature editors, photo guy, camera.
Editor at large.
Editor at large. Mm-hmm. Editor at small here. Larry Chen, editor at large of Speed Hunters, a great friend of yours and mine. Here is the Speed Hunters best battle of Formula Drift here at round 3. So here it is. Obviously, you see that, and right here is where it gets really definitive. Check out Chris Forsberg. Like you said, he didn't have anything to pretty much care about. Right here, watch, they're rubbing rubbers right there.
Yeah, and I like that Essa is just going for it. He's just taking it.
I mean, you know, Forsberg eventually lost due to the first run, but you know, we've seen some amazing chase runs over the years. I remember one that comes to mind is Vaughn, Gittin Jr. and Odie, and here's a different angle for you. Look at this, watch. Ooh.
Yeah, they're going at it like they're going at it in their missile cars, and I think that's amazing.
That's exactly, and you featured there. I talked about that, the missile party at Willow Springs, and there's all those missile things. You enjoy going up to those, and you've documented those. It very much looks like that. I mean, you've been kind of one of the few photographers going up there and shooting the missile party.
Yeah, I think I was there at the real inception of them kind of making it big. And I think that's really good for them to practice, during the off season or whatever, where they can drive cars that they don't really care about.
Yeah.
And they could just, it's amazing that they could drive like that.
Yep.
I think it's good.
And we clarified this. To have a missile, you need to have a really nice car. So, these guys looking like they're driving missile cars, but they're in their very beautiful cars, great looking cars. But there it is, man. That's the Speed Hunters' best battle. Forsberg chasing down Michael Essa. And look at this, dude. How psyched are you for Essa? He's getting his first ever podium.
Yeah, that is amazing.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, he's had 2 fourth places, and it seems like he always gets it snaked from under.
Speaking of your wedding, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, and it looks like he's going to finally get it. So there it is. Thank you, Larry Chen, and we'll see you at round 4 in New Jersey, buddy.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Larry Chen. Thank you, Speed Hunters. The best battle of Formula Drift round 3, Chris Forsberg and Michael Essa. Be sure to hashtag Maximum Attack, hashtag Joy of Machine. Be sure to follow Larry Chen. Larry Chen photos. You can find him and all the Speed Hunters on Instagram, of course. And it's just been a crazy event. Ryan, do you have an update of the action unfolding? You could see Daigo Saito's car being pieced together. Jack's going under. Welder's going off. Robbie Nishida now helping. Look at him. He's grabbing parts.
Well, his team knows that he has to get the car back to the line at some point, and obviously the round time does not help him. If his car broke in top 16, he'd have until the top 8 to get it back before a 5-minute would enact. But in the finals, that doesn't help you at all. So his team has called 5 minutes, and he will basically have that time to tick down. It does look like they're getting it back together, and we would really, really like to see this battle here.
And what's crazy is what kind of condition. I mean, is that bubble gum and duct tape? I mean, yeah, they broke out a welder. And obviously, so go ahead. I know what you're going to say, but what condition? Obviously, level of fixing is it, but also what condition is it able to compete at its highest pinnacle? It's obviously not.
The most important thing that Formula Drift cares about is that it's safe, and that's why we have the technical manager down there making sure that everything that they're doing is safe to get it out on track for competition. How it will actually react in drift, that's another thing.
Joshua Hobo Heron, one of 2 purveyors of Keep Drifting Fun. Be sure to check out Keep Drifting Fun. Buy some t-shirts, support the cause. Keep Drifting Fun. That does include Formula Drift, because if you're not having fun here, dude, go ahead and go home, because honestly, this is pretty awesome. And we're about to see our final battle, because it's been one heck of a night. Yes, it's been long. Yes, you've had delays, but it's because these drivers are all putting it out on the line, and that's why we've instituted a competition timeouts. That's why we institute hurry up. I mean, we could spend all night here, but Daigo Saito, he knows, and his team needs to get it back out here. So Keep Drifting Fun in more ways than one, and we will have our final battle here as Daigo Saito, we're trying to get that car dialed and back to the track. You can see Bridges himself dropping the car. Here we go. I'm seeing some rubber on it. We're back on action. Let's see how he does. He's going to do some burnouts. Here's Vaughn Gittin Jr. making a quick pass. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Monster Energy, Nitto Tire, Ford Mustang RTR, getting that 4th place spot. Vaughn Gittin Jr. making his way back to the pit area. Please hang out with us at the Formula Drift Trophy Podium Ceremony.
We'll talk later.
Again, join us for the carbon fiber trophies.
Hey, just so everyone knows, we're going to do some battling here real quick. So everyone get ready.
All right, so you can see Daigo Saito. All right, well, here is Daigo pulling to the line. Michael Essa, dude, psyched for him. His GSR Autosports BMW
sitting on Bilstein shock absorbers. Go to BillsteinUS.com. Can you win a BMW built by GSR Autosports? Here we go. Daigo Saito. This should be insane. Daigo Saito qualifying. His best qualifying so far was this event. He qualified 3rd against Essa. Essa qualified 21st, and he fought tooth and nail, rightfully so. Essa had to go against Taka. He battled against Tyler McCoy. He went against Chris Forsberg, and here he is in the finals as Essa made his way past Nishida as well. Daigo Saito, he's made his way past Pat Gooden, and then he made his way past Wang. Here we go, past Vaughn Gittin Jr. Now he's in the finals. Saito and Essa throwing it in hard into that first turn is Daigo Saito. This is the finals. This is for the top podium spot. Daigo Saito, Michael Essa, door to door, wheel to wheel, nice and tight around that final clip. Essa tightening it up. The BMW to the SC430. Let them know you're here. Florida and Drift Stream. We still have a packed house here, Ryan.
Let's take a look at the replay, Jared. I'm so surprised that Daigo Saito did not have any mechanical problems on that. Big ups to his team for getting it together. Nice job by Michael Essa closing the door right here. Daigo Saito trying to shoot out wide. Great job on proximity by Michael Essa. They come up on the inside, turn that red light green, shoot back around to the last inside clip, and Michael Essa and Daigo Saito are door to door.
Dude, after this round, Michael Essa should be in the top 3 in points. So here we go, Daigo Saito and Michael Essa. Well, here we go. Michael Essa will now lead. Daigo Saito will give chase. Oh, wow. Thanks, man. I got a gift. Thanks, brother. You having fun out here? Look at this. I get gifts. Oh, sweet. I get a gift of, look at this guy knows me too well. He brought me a beer and a funnel cake. Look at that. Homeboy brought me a funnel cake. I'm just kidding, bro. Thanks for coming on up here. And oh, look at that. He did bring me a beer. Sweet. I got a Yingling and a funnel cake. Great fans down here in Florida. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. These are hey, stick around. This is the finals. Here we are. We're going to kick this thing. Florida, are you with me? Are you ready to yell send it as loud as possible? These are the finals. Is Michael Essa going to get first place for his first ever Formula Drift podium? Daigo Saito, 2012 champion in the Achilles Radial. On 3, let's yell send it. 1, 2, 3, send it. Here we go. Michael Essa is going to lead. Daigo Saito is going to give chase. Michael Essa throwing it in to that first turn. Nice job by Essa. Saito is right there. Solid job hitting that clip. Look at Daigo Saito diving on the inside. Michael Essa is on his way to a first place finish. Essa finishes this out. Michael Essa will get first place here in Florida. I have to say, give it to Essa. Sorry, dude, I'm pumped. I got a funnel cake, I got a beer, and Michael Essa could very well be your first place finisher here in Florida. Ryan, take a look at it again.
Well, remember, go back to that last one while Michael Essa was chasing. He did a great job. And look at this mistake right here by Daigo Saito. Very shallow on the inside. That could be the decider right there for Michael Essa. You have to imagine he's just like, hold it together, hold it together, hold it together. His spotter telling him he did a great job in the lead run. Daigo Saito closed the door right there. Looks like we do have a victor. The judges are inputting their scores. We will bring both cars down on track right now, and we will do the announcement out in front of you guys in just 1 second.
Florida, drive home safely. If you're leaving now, come join us at the podium. See history in the making. Michael Essa, his first ever podium. What will it be? We know Robbie Nishida is officially 3rd place. Who's second and who is first? Also, the points championship is heating up as Vaughn Gittin Jr. coming to this round was first place. He makes top 4. Daigo Saito, who was second, we're about to find out. Darren McNamara knocked out 3rd. Michael Essa was 4th coming into points, as we'll bring all the drivers down here on track, and then we'll present the Formula Drift carbon fiber trophies.
Wrangle in the car. Let's go, let's go.
All right, well, we're pulling the cars on track.
Flag them down, middle. Here they come. Get them to stop right in front.
Here we go. We're bringing them out here. Round of applause. This is round 3 of the Formula Drift Championship. Make some noise for him as he steps out of his battered and bruised Achilles radial SC430, taping the door down. Daigo, the Ninja Saito, and Michael Essa. And last but definitely not least, pulling up, you know he's in 3rd place in the Achilles radial SC300 as he steps out of his car. 3rd place here, round 3, Robbie Nishida. And now I will announce your winner. 1st place at round 3 of the Formula Drift Championship is Michael Essa in the GSO Autosports BMW. 2nd place goes to Daigo, the Ninja Saito in the Achilles Radial SC430. There is your 1, 2, and 3. Michael Essa fighting tooth and nail in the turbocharged GSR BMW E46 M3. Daigo Saito also taking some big bruises, some big hits. Daigo Saito in 2nd, Nishida in 3rd. Come see ya. Come see all these winners at the Formula Drift Podium. Homeboy brought me a funnel cake and a beer. It's a win-win.
Thank you, bro.
Perfect timing.
50 gram challenge.
I know, right? Here. Hold on. I need a photo of this.
First victory. What's going through your
Powers,
mind?
get in there, Bob. Powers, get in there.
Crazy. I mean, running against Daigo in the last that, you know, he got taken out and got the car fixed like last minute.
Right on, brother.
Are you
selling these? No, I'm on the.
You're just a fan? Went for it, you know, laid down some games and it's been a crazy weekend. Michael,
hey, you guys come down.
Practice, we broke some parts, had some parts flown in overnight, and got the car together. Didn't qualify great, but yeah, I mean, just in the tandem runs, just making it happen. So it was a crazy event, and I mean, running Daigo for 1st place. I really wanted to run him too. I didn't want him to go out a car that's broken, so ran him and was able to beat him. So
congratulations, Michael.
thank you.
Camera or no?
Go ahead, you're allowed.
All right, well, there it is, the speedhunters.com closing ceremony. Thank you for joining us online, the Drift Stream. And that's it. We just had an unbelievable event. Congratulations to our podium finishers on behalf of Jared Deenda, or behalf of Jared Deenda, I'm Jared Deenda, behalf of Ryan Sage. Ryan, you're up here. Crazy event, dude. Wacky and just wild.
It always is. It's never this wacky and wild, but this was a crazy one. We went late. We avoided the rain. And we saw some absolutely insane competition. And, of course, it's going to be food for thoughter for many, many weeks to come as we prepare for round number 4. And I'm all for it, man. These guys are battling. I mean, you know, it's great to see Michael Essa come out there, get his first podium. And big ups to Robbie Nishida and Daigo Saito as well.
And yeah, you brought up a great point. We dodged the rain. Not a single drop during qualifying, during 32, 16, 8, 4, finals. Boom, there it is. Boom goes the dynamite. Send it. We'll see you guys in the next round of the Formula Drift Championship presented by GoPro. That is June 22nd at Wall Stadium in Wall Township, New Jersey. We'll see you there, and don't forget to send it.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hankook Tires.
To be good at one thing is an accomplishment. To be great at many is to achieve excellence in diversity. At Falcon Tire, we thrive on competition. Whether it's American Le Mans, Formula Drift, or off-road, we constantly push to be the best. We battle it out on the track so you can conquer your daily commute. Falcon Tire, we get you going.